What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 9 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded, not Grumbrindle, Thorgrim Grudgebearer Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, we had some absolutely fantastic fights up north as the Demon Prince arrived to aid the Steel Fist Reavers, was it? Yes, I remember their name this time, in terms of trying to protect the Forbidden Citadel. The Demon Prince lost both of his armies, and by the looks of it, those might have been the only armies he had at the current time, as the balance of power is looking pretty bad. Ooh, he is allied with Khorne, so we should probably wipe him out before Skarbrand turns upon us, though that is inevitable, but at the same time, it's probably something that we want to allow to happen, because Gromby will want his defeat trait, and, well, just to generally fight him and put his Iron Drakes, the non-flamethrower variants, through the ringer once we get them. Otherwise, we are, well, time was short yesterday, or last episode, which I guess was yesterday, in terms of reaching the next stage of Reckoning, but we're looking pretty okay. We got 4 turns and 4%, and that I think we can certainly do, especially as we're coming upon Black Crag with Thorgrim, and are looking to wipe out these rats here, and if it doesn't happen, we can always instantly attack Broken Tooth Hold and Grosdrung with all of these armies, so it will serve. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this turn, first of all, last episode we managed to rack up quite a bit of cash, and we're going to spend at least some of it. Now, if you were wondering why I've been saving the Oath Gold, it's a couple of the decrees that I wanted to get here. Decrees of the High King. They were too expensive in terms of gold, and Oath Gold as well, and it's not the bonus Everguard units, though we will eventually get those, inevitably get those. What I wanted was this one, Dispatch Rangers, and it does give us a little bit of upkeep reduction for the Everguard, which is great, because, I mean, that means that it'll pay for itself in terms of gold within, like, 8 turns, but the main thing is the +2 control in own provinces where an army is present. We're already putting lords, rearguard lords in provinces where we can to get that mining camp up and running, and might as well get a basically bonus to control in every province. So we're going to decree this. Like so. It is a fair chunk of change, admittedly, but, well, it'll be well worth it. Alright, now, and it bumped up our gold a little bit because of the 500 reduction in the upkeep of those Everguard. Though it is another reason then to now get more Everguard, because they're free under Thorgrim. So if we want to recruit them, you know what, once we get another Rearguard Lord, maybe we'll recruit more Everguard. But anyway, for now, we should also probably fill this slot. So I guess we'll want to maybe go for the Underdeep's network here, Underdeep Trade Network, Trade Route, because it is a fair bit of a buff. I guess the main issue with this one is that a significant portion of what makes this particular makes this particular building worth it seems to be the bonus thing, and it has to have an adjacent region owned by a dwarf faction other than your own. Right now, I'm guessing that that is Zufbar, because, yeah, they do have some territory here in Grundrikson's mines in Blackwater. Meaning once Zufbar is confederated by us, then that will go away and it'll be no longer anywhere near worth it. Plus, we're not making a crazy amount of trade anyway. I'll think about it. There might be another dwarfen faction, another minor dwarfen faction that's still kicking somewhere, which we can leave alive. It's just that Zufbar will kind of be in the center of our own territory, and I think that adjacency-wise, we may want to make use of it, but who knows? It'll be a very long time until we confederate Zufbar anyway, simply because the massive reductions in public order and stuff mean we're going to reserve that confederation by and large for legendary lords for a while. Anyway, let's get this up and running then. Though once again, I am quite tempted by the repurposed clan goldsmiths. It is a lot of oath gold. And there is the idea of saving up all that oath gold in order to confederate Thorek and then use his cheaper forge uses to get a bunch of stuff up and running. Hard decision. It costs 7.5k to unlock these two as well, which is fairly expensive. You know what, let's start with the trade goods while we can offer this, and plus it is only 1 tier, so that makes it a little bit easier, I guess. Let's do that for now. And we'll upgrade you once we have a little bit more money, because there's other stuff that we want to spend it on. Speaking of spending it, there is a lot of consideration to what we have to do up north here. Now, Grimly and Gromby, they need to separate, but Grimly rather, and he needs a full stack, so he needs 7 more units in his army, so we're going to have to recruit them, which I guess is something we want to start on. May as well get a rearguard lord up and running here. We were going to do so anyway, so that'll be you, sir. And then you can, huh. 1 second, I had an idea. Route Marcher. Do we have recruitment? Yes, Mason. Oh, like so. I had an idea, which was... Let me just see here. Ah, there is a... Yeah, I knew it. Okay, so... Oh, it wasn't this after all. Okay, never mind. Well, sort of never mind. I thought that remember last episode in the fog, I thought, maybe this is an army standing here. But apparently it wasn't that. It was just here. Now, what do we have in terms of defenses here? Honestly, they're not so bad. Oh, wait, it's this one. One less quarreler, right? Plus a lord. Honestly, I think it'll still be fine. But nonetheless, we're going to have to recruit anyway, so let's recruit to the... Well, I wonder if this guy can reach us in 1 turn. We'll figure that out in a bit. But what we need to see is what we actually need in these armies. First of all, we're going to spend a little bit of cash by doing this. Thunderers, you are to become Iron Drakes. And then Iron Drakes, you are to become Iron Drakes. Like so. Alright, and I think we had enough hammerers. You are going to be Iron Breakers for Grimbrindle. Chucking those blasting charges. I don't really want to repeat the exact same kind of army I did in my last dwarf campaign for Grimbrindle, so he should probably have at least some melee units as opposed to none. Granted, the amount of defense that the Iron Drakes get with Gromby is pretty freaking insane, but at the same time, I think they will work nicely and look nicely with the regular Iron Drakes. And we'll obviously want more regular Iron Drakes as opposed to all of the Fire Iron Drakes. I might even turn all of these 2 into torpedoes as well. Get Gromby, maybe a couple of Grudge Settler. Oh, I know what we can do. He buffs Iron Drakes and War Machines. So let's also get him one of these things. We've got another one of the Gyrocopters with Troll Hammers coming up in 4 turns. Or Thorgrim anyway. We could get a couple of these guys, plus their Troll Hammers to work with his Troll Hammers. He likes that Troll Hammer spam, I guess. And this will guarantee that this defense is a win. Yeah, there we go. Although, once again, I think that it probably would have been fine, but we gotta recruit anyway. Alright, recruiting. I think we have enough Quarrelers, unless I'm mistaken. We have 1, 2. We'll need Dwarf Warriors to eventually become... Ooh, wait, I just had another idea. Grimly Coral Seeker is going to want a couple of Dwarf Warriors into Bolt Throwers. Oh, we can also use them as Gyrocopters with Brimstone guns, eh? That's quite interesting. He does have War Machines. Oh man, that's a hard choice. Do we do that? We will then run out of melee units, but I guess we can transform the miners into the Dwarf Warriors, and then they can become the Longbeards after, so that does kind of solve the problem. And we'll do that. I don't dislike the idea. And we do need to transfer more... Oh, wait, 1 second. Another 1 second. How many Longbeards do we need? We have 1, 2, 3... I'd say 5, so we'll need 2 of these guys to become Longbeards. And we'll still have spare ones. Alright, fine. We'll do this. You 2 will become Bolt Throwers for Grimly. And I know this is costing money, a fair bit of money, in fact, but I still do think that it is worth our time. Otherwise, I don't want all the armies, you know, to be all samey and stuff. And then you guys will become Dwarf Warriors. Like so, there we go. That's most of our cash, but at least these guys will be able to separate sooner. As for what we recruit, now I'm not entirely sure. I guess we will need more bolt throwers. You could start with just some cheap miners and then over time evolve them so that we don't have to pay. Oh, you can directly recruit Longbeards? That's pretty nice. And I could do more Thunderers as well. How many Thunderers are you gonna need? Probably at least 2 more. Alright, so let's do this. 2 more Thunderers for you. Oh, actually, we can't afford recruiting Thunderers right now. Alright, fine. Let's just get some more miners with blasting charges then. Be quicker about it. Like so, and then we'll transfer them to Grimly and then evolve them to whatever we need to evolve them into. Like, these two can be evolved into warriors, and the warriors can be evolved into pretty much anything we want, because, well, I mean, everybody was a warrior, dwarf warrior at the start, I guess. Anyway, or possibly a miner. Anyway, I think that's good, since that was all of our cash, and yes, that wasn't the best use of money, but I think people would get bored of just the same sort of armies doing the same things, so, you know. Anyway, who else still needs to move? You guys are good. Snorri, you're good, you're good, you're good. Huh, I think nobody. Alright, meaning we can end the turn. Ooh, actually, I just had another idea. 1 second. Military alliance. Somebody suggested in the previous episode, or possibly the previous episode, the bonus episode and the regular episode kind of flow together. Somebody suggested that we maybe try to transfer to Boris the Legion of Chaos territories, so that we don't leave them as just ruins, which I do like the idea of. I was originally planning to give them to Oshiotla, but the thing is, to do that, we're going to have to separate these armies and then move one of them to kill off the Cornates here in order to transfer to Oshiotla, and that's probably going to take a bit. So I think we can start by... Oh, man. Okay, so it has to be bordered, so we need to transfer these guys to Tower of Karak, which we canceled the abandonment of. Then transfer them Forbidden Citadel, then trade these two, and then trade these. That's going to be a hassle, but it is what it is. Alright, fine. Tower of Karak for you. And I might as well do the military alliance and take some of your money. Hopefully it doesn't destroy you, because that's... on the other hand, it's not a lot of money. 3,000 gold, it's like your base income per turn. We should also probably pick up Crow Brethren Roost, because transferring it back to Boris will probably guarantee that we can easily trade back one of these. Anyway, I'll do this. Yes. Alright, I hope I'm not wrong about this. And then, Banner of we got the Banner of Lost Holds for that. That's a nice pickup, a very nice pickup. This will work nicely in Thorgrim's army, because it'll buff everybody in the sort of fighty single entity blob. And I'm going to give that to Thorgrim right now, because I'm sure he'll enjoy it. And at least I got some of our cash back, so there's that benefit. Banner of Lost Holds, where are we here? Yeah, we might as well give the Razor Standard to one of these guys as well. Thorgrim doesn't have too many ancillaries, but that's because we just generally don't have too many ancillaries, as in banners. Alright, then I would like to see whether Mr. Boris will trade the Forbidden Citadel now for the Tower of Karak. -8. Okay, so it's not so bad. We can probably... maybe declare war on somebody that he's fighting in order to do that. Or... wait, actually... you know what, we'll find out next turn. If we take Monolith of Torgald and we could trade it directly for the Tower of Karak, that would be much easier. I still think that we should get all of these territories, because there's a lot of trade goods here. Just 4 in this, it's really nice. And yeah, anyway, I think that will allow us to end the turn. Outpost available, we're not going to pay for right now. Now we do have another 4,000 gold to spend, but we'll do it later. End turn. Oh, look at that. Belagar is... oh, wow, look at that. Whoa. Belagar, hello. Let's do non-aggression pact and military access, and you can give us a bunch of cash and trade. We're going to confederate you anyway, so the fact that we deprive you of some of your cash doesn't matter. Call it tribute to the High King. Trab, Clan Gnaw, Tiny Underway Interception. Sure, why not? Auto-resolve. Okay, this better not kill off a bunch of our slayers. Oh, it will give us an opportunity to heal a little bit, though. I think we'll take that. Alrighty, and they were in fact in range. Annoying that they went over here, but like I said last episode, it was very suspicious that we couldn't see them anymore. In terms of they ran away from the settlement, but we couldn't see them close to their own settlement, so they had to be either here or... actually, I don't know where, or in what, Cornate territory? I don't think they went to Scarbrand. Anyway, gonna be a little fight, but we do have a gyrocopter with troll hammers, and as we've seen, these guys can do a lot of good work. Go. Alright, I missed the speech, but, well, just a tiny little battle anyway. Here we go. We're gonna start the battle up by annoying the enemy with our Grudge Settler gyrocopters, dropping a few of those Trollhammer torps on the enemy. Like so, and starting not with the Manticore because it's less of a threat than the Marauder Horsemen with the Javelins. Certainly don't want them knocking our gyrocopters out of the sky. And unlike the Manticore, these guys won't rampage, so it's better to just kill them off. Plus, the number of shots means that it's fairly decently quick to obliterate the unit like this. Not quite as fast, I think, as the Brimstone guns. They're better at this, but, well, the Brimstone guns are more of a sniper against... or more of an anti-large unit killer than these guys, who are more of the sniper. Not that this is ineffective, mind you, as these guys are down to 40% of their HP, maybe 45%, but that's about to drop even further soon, and most likely, after a volley or two, they'll be shattering anyway, or at the very least routing. Anyway, and away they go, they break, maybe get one more parting shot into them, and then switch to the Manticore, which is on the approach. There we go, a few more horsemen knocked out. But frankly, I'm impressed that a horseman can take a single troll hammer torpedo to the face and not immediately die. You'd think that you'd just explode, because I mean, it's a torpedo made to kill trolls. And it's like, I don't know, half the size of a guy's torso, at least the smaller variant that these guys fire. So once again, I feel like getting hit by one should probably kill you off. Anyway, there's that sniper action going in. We've got about 20% of the HP, maybe 25% of the HP off the Manticore route with a single volley. But more importantly, we forced it into rampage, into out of control, and towards the rest of our army. Unfortunately, while it does close the distance with the gyrocopters, it does mean that they become less accurate. But it does mean that our Quarrelers can continue laying down that covering fire support, and the Manticore will be breaking and will be booking it on out of there fairly soon. It also means that we will be able to switch fire after one parting shot with the gyrocopters. Not at the doggos, as that is a horrible waste. These guys are just auto-firing while moving, but instead at the enemy Lord and the enemy Trolls and the Chaos Spawn. The Lord will be the first target. More important, as he does have spell work available to him, a Searing Doom in fact, and we certainly don't want him dropping those, dropping that Searing Doom upon our units. But we should be able to knock him out fairly quickly and easily here, especially as he's not mounted and is thus going to be very, very slowly approaching and is already down to half HP. You guys keep on firing while the rest of our army attempts to hold the enemy back. Obviously, the Chaos Spawn and the Trolls are going to be the bigger issue here. Though fortunately, the Chaos Spawn will be distracted by the Chaos Dwarfs, who reposition themselves slightly so that they could catch both the doggos and the spawn, and allow our Quarrelers to fire into said spawn while we kill off the enemy Lord, who is, by the looks of it, one more hit until he's done for. Here comes his doom in the form of all those torpedoes. There we go. All to the back, too. Sorry, guy, no Searing Doom for you today. Anyway, we're gonna switch those gyrocopters then to fire into the backs of those Chaos Spawn, but it looks like these Spawn are already having a pretty bad day, as the Quarrelers are pincushioning them quite nicely. They've got, let's see, 20% and 20% physical and missile resistance, so fairly resistant, mind you. But I mean, without those resistances, these guys, they just get obliterated way, way too quick, so yeah. It makes sense. Anyway. Troll hammers to the back, Quarrels to the front, and this unit of Chaos Spawn is just about done for with about 15% HP remaining. And we're gonna get ready to reposition. One more bonk, nice, and that bonk... Oh, I was thinking that the bonk would deliver a final blow to the Chaos Spawn. The first one didn't. And there we go, Spawn are out, and on to the enemy Trolls and such. The bounce power has shifted in our favor. We're going to continue firing on those Trolls, although we are nearly out of ammunition at this point. The Thane is fighting together with some of the Dwarf Warriors to hold back the Trolls, but fortunately Trolls have terrible leadership and will book it on out of there rather soon. Shaken and Lord dead. I think while the player actually losing battles is fairly rare, as long as you position yourself and obviously don't fight battles that you have no chance of winning, mostly relegated to defensive battles. One of the recent losses that I remember in a non-little mini settlement battle was the Troll army in the Grimgor campaign, as the Trolls booked it on out of there with 12 models remaining, 11 models remaining, just because their leadership is terrible. But we came right back and killed the enemy right after. But anyway, they weren't destroyed either way. And while running away with nearly full HP, they all mostly regenerated to full. Just a silly thing of using trolls until you've got a bunch of leadership buffs on them. Even with the AI's leadership buffs, they have low leadership. Anyway, with that, the trolls are out, and we'll do our best to chase down a couple of enemy units, but we'll do it off screen. Alright, there we go, easy enough. Enemy Lord is dead, though in retrospect maybe I should have left him alive because we're gonna have to hunt him down again, but yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. Oh wow, decent bit of money for that particular battle, go figure. Though I'm almost tempted to trade that for the plus 10 control we'd get over 2 turns. It's also not bad. You know what, I think we'll drink to victory. What do we have here? Chaos, Undivided, Corruption, all provinces plus 4, which is extremely minimal. It's basically nothing, so I think we're just going to take the money again. As odd as it may seem to accept Undivided Corruption from Chaos as the Dwarfs, we have more, I think, than 4 corruption reduction in every province, just due to our base buildings, so it doesn't matter. Cloaked Stranger from the mist-shrouded land of Albion approaches with a request. He is of sinister aspect, but assures you that his intentions are good. Sure. Alright, enemy killed in battle, and yeah, he did get another Sorcerer Lord back up and running, didn't he? Oh well. Yeah, you should have enough to destroy this now. And can drink to victory again, I suppose. Pyrrhic victory, killing off one of our... Okay. Manual, super quick fight. Also, while we're doing this, rather than while the turn is ending as usual, once again we did reach the engagement threshold, so this is going to be an hour-long, hour-adjacent, etc. episode, and the engagement threshold remains 460 comments, and the next episode will be an hour-long, hour-adjacent once again as well. Alrighty, that I was hoping that would take the entire time of the loading, but apparently not. Miners, stay back. You can Vanguard deploy, but there isn't really any need to. Might as well have the gyrocopters do the work. Start battle, and attack the enemy Marauder horses as a start. Turn off your skirmishing as well. A couple volleys, the Marauder horses will be done for. And then we will switch now to the... Oh, I thought that we would be able to kill you before you... Okay. Back off slightly. And turn, fire again. 1 and 2. The point blank ones didn't work well. Okay, he's backing off, and kill it, and then onward towards the enemy lord. And I guess the horses didn't come back. Do you have any kind of spells? You do, but probably just a fireball, which means you're of no threat. Alright, and... Alright, I don't think the dogs are going to win against the miners. We can just keep this at max speed. You can distract the enemy hero / lord. Doggos are pretty much done for. And one more volley. There we go. Alrighty, and since this army backed off, we don't need to chase the dogs down because they will be destroyed anyway. Just wanted one more volley, just because we could. On the bright side, it's additional XP for the Grudge Settler Trollhammer Gyrocopters. I think I'm going to get Grimbrindle a Thunder Barge and some Iron Breakers. I feel like Grimbrindle deserves some of the best stuff around, doesn't he? He's literally the son of 2 ancestor gods. I mean, he's got to have some good stuff. Not that the various Iron Drakes and all that are bad, mind you. Alrighty, and nearly there. Want to attack Black Crag and see if that maxes out our Age of Reckoning, although I guess after this we'll take a look at the Age of Reckoning thing anyway. Alrighty, and we got 3 turns, still 96%, so we barely got anything for this guy. We got 740 gold, might as well drink to victory again. 740, it really isn't much. Drink to victory. And, oh, now I guess the question is, do we sit here and recruit more? I mean, we could. We say, oh! Why did you come back? What the heck? Where were you? Was he? No, he wasn't here. Yeah, so where the heck did he go? They clearly didn't go here. Ooh, what is it? Oh, no, it's just an enemy settlement. They clearly didn't go this way or we would have seen them. Did you go into the Demon Princess territories? I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's chase him down and kill him. Hopefully this doesn't do too much damage in terms of our stuff. And technically the bolter is supposed to go to Grimly, but it'll just do this. It's quicker. Auto-resolve, yes. And what are we looking at here damage-wise? 188, you gotta be kidding me. Against that? Okay, that might have jumped the gun a little bit, but we'll take the 2k nonetheless. And I guess we'll probably manually fight the Monolith of Torgald because we don't want to suffer additional damage. Fair enough. Alright, Assured Assailant and another Stonemason on Alaric here. I don't know who Alaric is, but I do know that we don't need a Stonemason on him. One of the Thanes of this guy. Ooh, speaking of Thanes, I did want to get another Thane up and running. So first of all, do we want Gromby to attack this, or do we want this guy to attack this? Wait, Gromby, if we go into encamp stance, yes, okay, you're gonna do this. And then we'll have Grimly attack it, because I'm pretty sure, just like last time, he won't be able to go into the stance, because he seemingly can't move as far as Gromby can right now, which is fine. Alright, we'll attack this in a second. Gromby, I see that you've leveled up, so let's get you the... Ooh, recruitment reduction. Fine, recruitment reduction has to be prioritized, I guess. And you know what? I should have switched you to Masters of Steel and Stone to be able to upgrade or recruit those Thunderers. So we can stay here, sit in Valea's Will for a turn, move up. Then we'll spend the turn to recruit the rest of the Thunderers and whatnot that we need for that army. Then we'll trade them, and then we'll go pick up Crow Brothers' Nest, hopefully before Boris gets there. Alright, I think that'll go well. Next up, let's go not directly to Thorgrim yet, although that'll be in a second. I wanted to get another Thane up and running, and I just don't want to forget about it, so let's get you. There was another Traumac, and we're just going to keep spamming Traumac. And pretty much every army needs a Thane for the bonus post... Okay, you can't move? Okay, fine. For the bonus post-battle loot thing. You... We can still cheaply recruit stuff if we wanted to here. What did I want to do? Oh, right, I wanted to get a couple of brimstone guns up and running for this fire army, though we could just turn a couple of the dwarf warriors into them, can't we? Or we could recruit them for really cheap and turn the dwarf warriors to something else. Frankly, it doesn't really matter. I think we could just forego it for now. Let's have you try to move as far as you can and get ready to transfer those Thunderers with Drake guns. If you're not recruiting, then you're not wasting time with those guys. And they'll be able to get into the fire army all that much sooner. Alright, heroes are moving out, that looks good. Thorgrim, I want to check one thing. From here, if you go into... No. I was wondering whether you could jump into Carucade Peaks from here, but it looks like the distance is too vast. Maybe from here, but obviously we can't test that right now. Alright, 97%, we should be good. I stopped moving everybody in order and now I'm regretting it. Anyway, you're gonna go right here to the edge of this. You are going to identify what's going on in Karataman's tomb, and then we're gonna pop you, there we go. Oh, they got a full stack there, nice. And we'll put you into... Oh, you can't go into Valea's, whatever. Oh well, not a big deal. Bonus public order / control here, because it's too horrifically bad until the Skaven are gone, so yeah. And, oh, Karataman's tomb is a tier 4 with, oh no, you're not going to be able to do this fight. That's not good. We'll need Thorgrim here. Doom Wheel, the Hell Pit, Death Globes, Poison Winds, Warp Fire Throwers, Storm Vermin, Plague Monks. Warp Lightning Cannons? Yeah, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. Okay, I guess that means that Thorgrim is gonna have to forego attacking Skarsnik for a bit. Alright, hopefully he can just keep fighting Crooked Moon. I might even tell him to start fighting... Plus 1%. Start fighting Belagar again? Growth plus 10 in all provinces, that ain't bad. Alright, anyway, we'll take a look at all those 9 landmarks, or 8 landmarks rather, next time. Okay, so you're going to attack this.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
It is time.
Let's see what else anybody else has to do before we strike, shall we? Snorri is good. Grimly is good, or at least well waiting to attack. Braun, Hammerfist. Ooh, you've leveled up. Oh, wait, you're not a rearguard lord. Oh, we should keep checking for more rearguard lords, though. We got cross country and we got Nully, but that's not what we want. Huh. Is the trait that reduces construction cost, does it not exist anymore? Because we're turn 58 and we haven't seen it one time. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore, maybe it's been removed. Would be unfortunate. Anyway, let's take a quick look at the deeps. We got one more turn until the guild foundries are up and running. We got one turn until the ruined counting room is up and running, which means we'll need to immediately spend 200 oath gold here and 6,000 gold here, so it's going to be a fair bit. Now we do have a little bit of cash, and we'll probably have a little bit more before the end of the turn. Anyway, let's take a look at this Zufbar while we're willing to trade. Good. In fact, I'd prefer a defensive alliance with the Zufbar simply because it will give us the it will give us a vision of the Imperials of various kinds. And that's something that we want. Agents of the Moon. We could do a non-aggression pact with them. They're currently allied with the Greybeards Prospectors. No thank you. Disgusting. We'll have to go and wipe those dwarfs out, obviously. I don't think anybody was questioning that. Anyway, Darklands Bandits really want that military alliance now, rather than the defensive alliance, most likely indicating that they're having trouble against Zatan or whoever it is they're fighting, whatever other Chaos Dwarfs. Alright, I guess we'll ignore this. Clan Angron really wants to confederate, and we're working on it, guys. We're working on it. Don't worry. Nobody panic. Alright, this is, yeah, I guess this is where King Lunbar's Keeper and his army will find their doom. We'll send them to attack Kerataman's tomb, and there they will die. That's what they wanted, after all, especially since we kept those Slayers waiting for so long. Anyway, we got this little army. Ooh, maybe not so little army. Savage Giants? Yes, please. This should be fun. Yes. I'm just gonna go straight on in. What do we have here? Pyrrhic victory, casualties high, that's what I like to see. Oh wow, 4 black orcs, lots of big uns, trolls. Finally, I think Thorgrim's got himself a proper challenge. Banner of Lost Holds, I guess we'll put this on... It's a rather short area, I guess we'll put this on, I don't know, Gotrek for now. Yeah, and then the Razor Standard, I guess we'll put on these guys since they're going to be hitting a little bit less hard than the Hammer variants without shields. Otherwise... I guess we're good to go. We're going to quick save this because, once again, I don't trust the game anymore after 4 crashes last episode. Some instability with the map, I guess, as somebody pointed out on the Discord, but, well, whatever, what can you do? Let's do it.
For the devil's crown.
Alright, Thorgrim making a simple speech here. We've got a pretty darn nice enemy army arrayed against us, more than 2 stacks of elite greenskin units. Should be a really fun fight. We've got a nice position on top of the hill. Thorgrim together with Gotrek, Felix, Runesmith, and Garagrim, all of our heroes in single entities. And it's nice to see these guys fight and able to continue to do so. Otherwise, we've got our various units of hammers in a nice little, I don't know what to call this formation. But trying to block off the hill and the forested area where we hope we can meet the enemy pump wagons, chariots, whatever other fast movers, which the enemy has a lot of. They're going to send our way. Before we get started with the battle proper, two little notes. First of all, over in the community posts tab of the channel, we will have our vote for the next campaign coming up. Since the Nakai and the Miao Yin campaigns are on their way out, we're gonna have to start that vote for the next Zinshin run, so do make your voices heard by voting over there. The other thing is about this campaign, not so much housekeeping, just sort of a concept idea thing that I've been thinking of. We are probably in the next couple of episodes going to spend a lot of money not on econ, but on getting a bunch of units on field again, just to, well, get them on field. Shortlisted a couple or several types of different units to put into various different types of armies, and just so that we could sort of have like the basis of the themed armies up and running, you know, like a unit that would have, I don't know, for example, a bunch of Slayers, or a unit that would have eventually a bunch of Iron Drakes. We will get like 2 of each of those in each of those armies with the combination of basic units, and either slowly evolve them into what they need to evolve into over time, or just replace them as we go. But at least that way we'll get the units actually on field and playing, rather than waiting until we have won with Quarrelers. Granted, I've been to some degree doing this anyway, getting all those unnecessary Grudge Settler units and other units, generally speaking, on field a little bit earlier, rather than investing in econ as much as I would normally do in most campaigns. But we're going to, you know, not only continue in that manner, but also increase the manner in which we continue. Anyway, back to the fight. The enemy is not yet annoyed enough to move towards us, or most likely they are annoyed, but the AI is waiting for their reinforcements to arrive, and with basically no anti-air, that means our gyrocopters can obliterate many an enemy, which is really nice for them. Granted, this is just going to make a small dent in the enemy army because of the sheer number of enemies, so I am glad of it, because it means plenty more work for our hammerers and for our elites to do. And just gonna keep on firing. Like I said, I'm gonna get another engineer in this army as well, just to give the gyrocopters and bombers that buff trait. As I do like the idea of the gyrocopters and bombers taking care of things like enemy artillery and fast movers, while our units of hammerers and Thorgrim and his single entities and do nice brawls against the enemy. Anyway, I believe the reinforcements are here at last, and that's a lot of orcs. I mean, we've been dealing with the Skaven a lot, so we're quite used to having a lot of enemies on the field at once. And to be fair, I mean, it's greenskins, so they're almost as numerous as Skaven anyway. Anyway, pump wagon's pretty much destroyed, I think. Huh, actually, I don't know. If there is only one unit remaining in a set of pump wagons, does it survive, or is the unit destroyed? I guess we'll find out, if I remember post-battle, which I very well might not. Anyway, I'm going to continue the bombardment such as it is, including now, finally, the actual bomb drops from the gyro bomber. Though, as we can see, compared to the weaker units, and dropping a single gyro bomber bomb on a unit of Black Orcs really does not do that much damage, probably less than 10%, and that's on a single unit. So yeah, nice to see the elite enemies, as the gyro bomber can no longer obliterate half the enemy army with just those bomb drops. And as we continue further throughout the campaign and spread out and go further in terms of the turns, the enemies will get more elite everywhere as well. Pretty nice. Been a pretty fun campaign so far, and we've been managing to still take a massive amount of territory that we'll get to play around with. Unite the Karaz Ankor and all of that. Reclaim the realms. Alrighty, well, either way the enemy's heading towards us. The fast movers are having a pretty bad day. Goblin Wolf Chariots suffering the same fate as many of the enemy units of Big Boss, and this poor colossal squig taking shots from the enemy artillery. I forgot what I was saying because I got distracted by the colossal squigs. And yes, it's not really advantageous to fire upon the colossal squigs with artillery, or with, well, it's not true, with specifically the grudge throwers, but it was funny, so I decided to do it. We can switch them to firing on some biggins and black orcs and whatnot in the meantime. Anyway, we are waiting for the enemy to move up this hill still. I'm gonna pincushion that first colossal squig a little bit, and frankly, it looks like that colossal squig is pretty much done for anyway. Not gonna make its way up this hill, I think. Oh, this might actually be one of, if not the last battles of Thorgrim's army having the colossal squig in the army, now that I think about it. And speaking of Thorgrim, there we go. He's gonna use his speed to close the distance with the enemy. And there you go. He's gonna smack that goblin big boss, who's going to be in a pretty bad shape, pretty much immediately shaken from the charge of a dwarf moving that fast. And who will speed up even further. In the meantime, looks like some squig herds have moved on in. Gotrek, Felix, the Runesmith, and Garagrim all stand ready to meet him. Alrighty, and those squiggies are pretty much done for already. Not to worry, there are just so many more enemies where that came from. And a lot of fast movers still, so our gyrocopters and bombers, or bomber, still have a lot of work to do. And I'll just keep doing it. You know, I also think that maybe since we can... we should probably get a couple more of the Everguard up on the field reasonably quickly as well. Oh no, Thorgrim. He has used his speed to close the distance, but he is in the process of being vomited on by the Colossal Squig, but he does bring it down with gusto nonetheless, and heads directly towards the enemy lord, who he hits for about a quarter of his HP with the first blow. Not too bad. I mean, Thorgrim doesn't hit crazy hard yet. He's only got 700 weapon strength, but his stats are obviously going to keep rising through the course of the battle. Anyway, trolls, boar boys, giant, plenty of things have moved on in. We're going to send Gotrek and Felix to try to bring the giant down. But of course we're also gonna pincushion it a little bit with our quarrelers, though the massive resistances on the giant probably means that it's gonna take a while, regardless of which manner it is. The trolls have arrived, but they are not going to be able to get through the hammerers, grudge settlers. Or any hammerers, most likely. And it looks like this formation is paying off fairly well. The enemies have attempted to move around us through the trees, but foolishly, because all their large units are now debuffed and due to the terrain. And trolls and boar boys and pump wagons and whatnot will all get bonked apart. The first giant goes down. I believe Thorgrim has defeated the Black Orc Big Boss, or very nearly so here. Who's going to be rushing on out of there, while our hammerers, Gotrek, Felix, the elites, all face off against the Black Orcs and the Giants now. Very nice. Do wish it wasn't such a dark map, but that's alright. It isn't so dark that we can't see anything, so I'm reasonably happy with that anyway. And certainly it feels like a proper greenskin battle. Especially since Grimgor was wiped out in the early game by foolishly declaring war on us instead of going after his former masters, the Chaos Dwarfs. But he bit off a little more than he can chew by going after the OG Dwarfs instead. Alright, now our artillery have switched fire to the enemy range units. Granted, there weren't too much of them, otherwise our gyrocopters wouldn't have been able to menace the enemy so much. But all good. Gonna get an overcast Rune of Wrath and Ruin in the midst of the enemy blob, just to try to damage those units of Black Orcs and Biggins, who admittedly are pretty badly beat up. As we can see here, Thorgrim has defeated both of the enemy Black Orc Big Boss and the regular boss, just as he did that Goblin and that Colossal Squig, and frankly, just doing a fantastic job this battle. And now, since those guys are running away, while we could chase them down with Thorgrim, they're no longer worth his time, as the giant is still there, and we can simply bring them down with a little bit of sniping action from our gyrocopters. There we go, a bloody end for Homer Simpson. Anyway, and the Savage Giant has similarly been defeated by Thorgrim, who has been an absolute star. And I'd like to think we have at least a little bit of the speed of his in this campaign to thank for it. I mean, in the Greasus, having used Greasus in my last Ogre run as a speedy chariot, I found that I got so much more mileage out of him being super quick than I normally would have, and because, you know, Slow Greasus is basically a completely useless garbage lord, but because he can never actually get to the battle since everything is faster than him. And dwarfs, while they like to stand back and hold the line, it's still very nice to be able to chase enemies down. Speaking of chasing, the battle's done, and the enemy army has shattered, having failed to breach our fortress-like formation of hammerers, and we're going to do our best to chase down as many of them as we can, which Thorgrim can do quite well, and the same with the gyrocopters. Alrighty, there we go. A really nice fight, and well, thanks to the gyrocopters and fast Thorgrim, we were able to chase down a fair few of the enemy units. I also got to remember that fast Thorgrim not only can chase enemy, being around 60 speed, but he can also get close enough to cast his speed reduction on enemies, allowing other units to close the distance, which you got to appreciate. Felix barely did any damage compared to a Gotrek, considering they were fighting right beside each other, but I mean, in comparison wise, it kind of does make sense. And generally speaking, we did pretty well. Alright. Oh wow, look at the Everguard with great hammers. We got 27k damage, and ooh, just barely managing to get a little bit more damage than the Everguard with shields, but we can see the difference. The shielded ones were holding off enemy blobs of units, so they got 186 kills and 26k damage. The hammerers were going after the single entities, so they got barely any kills by comparison, but got more damage and more damage dealt as gold value. And rock, paper, scissors and all that. Anyway, we're going to take the money. It's 3k, and we're not going to turn that down. And then we're going to move on in and take Black Crag. Ooh, now that's a question. Wait. If we... Okay, wait. Go here. Quick save. Aha, in case it crashes. And we kill these guys off in auto-resolve, then we will take the money again. It is not that much money, but... take the money. And then we will take Black Crag, and we'll see if it crashes. Occupy. It did not crash. Hey, well done. Was Death Pass? Secured. And if Zatan ever tries to send a convoy here again, we'll probably knock it down. And oh, perfect! We got the barracks here. Oh, I should have waited with summoning the next Thane. Darn. Oh, coordinate carnage on the Dragon Slayers might have been nice. Damn, yeah, if I had waited on the Thane, we would have been able to put him into Thorgrim's army immediately, but, you know, how was I to know that we would have captured that with Black Crag? Speaking of Black Crag, we're going to pop you into Masters of Steel and Stone. We're going to take the opportunity with Thorgrim and all these heroes to reduce the construction costs and build stuff here. I guess we'll keep the Mustering Hall. Maybe even keep the Slayer Shrine. Black Crag has a lot of building slots. This would then be a good reason to delete the Slayer cult at Crookback Mountain. I assume this thing doesn't reduce... Oh, actually it does reduce the construction recruitment cost of Slayers. Huh. But the Deeps reduce the recruitment even more, so as soon as we build the Deeps in Black Crag, it probably won't matter all that much anyway. And it's not like we're going to be building up any of the regular Slayers here right now. We're going to be building them elsewhere, so I think it's just, yeah, that's still the better choice. Anyway, the rest of this is fine, and hey, we're at 100%, meaning with 3 turns to spare, we have once again reached Nolengrom. Beautiful, and that means more Grudge Settler units. I just have to remember that since we get 1 of each, where are we here? We have a spare unit of Slayers, of Grudge Settlers, and a spare unit of Grudge Settler Grudge Throwers, meaning we can't afford to lose those. I'm gonna have to put them in an army. I'm just not entirely sure which army as yet. Okay, obviously the Fire Army really needs adjustment, but the Fire Drakes are coming, or not the Fire Drakes, the Drake Guns are coming, so it's gonna be a few turns. You need adjustment as well. We will need something to act as a melee unit in this army as well, though I do like the Axe Storm thing that we got going. I think the last time I made this type of army in my, I'm gonna say Malachi campaign, I used Giant Slayers with their great weapons with these guys, because it's great weapons and great weapons. I'll think about whether I want to repeat that. On the one hand, I don't like to repeat armies exactly the same way that I built them before and like to try out new compositions. On the other hand, I also didn't get the chance to try that one out too much in Malachi's campaign before it ended. So, yeah, on the fence about it. Anyway, you're switching, you're good. And we will definitely take the opportunity to build stuff. I would like to delete the Arms Forge here, but we'll wait on it. Alright. Anybody else need to do anything before we start spending cash? Doesn't look like it, or at the very least, if there is, I don't remember what it might be. Meaning, we're saving... Okay, how much do we have to save for this? 12,000 gold, right? Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, that's 12,000. We could take the opportunity to upgrade the entrance halls here. That'll remove at least 1 more blocked tunnel. But not 2, unlike the main settlements. Frankly, it might behoove us to immediately just build the deeps here at Oh, we need growth, and Thorgrim's not gonna stay here for 3 turns, that's for certain. 10,000 gold right now, too. Fairly expensive. It's a lot cheaper to build it here because these guys have all the reductions, don't they? Just out of curiosity, how much would it cost right now if we were to delete the Stonebeard Bakery here? It cost 6.8k, which is not too bad, and we were going to build one at the Pillars of Grudny. I guess the main issue there is it would be a loss of 30 growth, and we really do need the additional growth here. Although on the other hand, one of these things, if I recall, will also give us additional growth. Might be the... it's not this building. This one gives us a little bit, but not that much. We could also just delete these. Wait, let me just see if there's anything critical here. Let's see, if we unlock 2, we could start on the Ruined Clan Goldsmiths, which would enable us to get a ton of Oath Gold for various reasons. And we could do the Underdeep Mine. Why can't we do the Drinking Halls? Oh, we need Construction Guilds. It's one of the end technologies. At the very, very end of the construction tree. I do love the capacity that it offers for all the various heroes, and the control that it offers. The problem is, it's going to take a long time to actually tech towards it. The strategy buildings seem to be quite useless because they're only in the in this particular settlement. I guess if you're going completely tall and only are fighting in one province, this is good because it's a mass amount of post-battle loot from farming enemies that are there. But otherwise, kind of well, fine. I mean, 1.5k, just do it. And I won't have to look at it and be bothered by it. I'll just build this here as well. Alrighty, and then we'll build the other one here in a little bit. I don't think we can afford to switch out of the High King's Tribute because it'll make us negative income for a turn or two, so I think we want to fix up income in other places first. Speaking of other places, I did say I want to invest in some of them. Which ones remains the question. This place has... No, wait. There was one place that I wanted to build a bunch of farms. Here. We'll go for the barley field, and the barley field, and... Oh, I missed this barley field. Barley field, barley field, barley field. And we could upgrade one of these. Ooh, we could upgrade the Cool for more control, both here and in adjacent provinces, just that it's very, very costly. The other option would be to upgrade the Gorl Mines, which is also not too bad of an idea. Yeah, I think we'll do the Gorl Mines. Gorl Mine, Gorl Mine, and Gorl Mine, and Gorl Mine. And basically doubles the income, so yeah. And do we want to upgrade any of these dwarf keeps? They don't have any resources right now, and I don't want to over-invest in this particular territory, so I think we'll hold off on that. And then we'll switch you to High King's Tribute in order to increase the amount of money that this particular province generates. What about you? You're going to be in the same situation shortly. We may want to upgrade at least the Gem Cutter's Workshop, because, well, actually all the resource buildings would be good, especially since we're trying to move towards trade now. The growth here is also virtually non-existent. Just that these are super expensive. And we don't have a builder army available to us as yet. Because I haven't seen the traits. Which is the safest location? Uzii Camp and Tusk... Oh, Tusk... Sunsold. You know what? Let's upgrade you. I want to get the bonus research out of the Tusk compound. That'll be nice. And then, yeah, we'll upgrade you, and then we'll save the rest of the cash because, okay, hopefully I didn't miscalculate, and we'll still have the 10,000 or 12,000 or whatever it was we needed to upgrade the deeps next turn. Alrighty, other than that, I believe we're good, minus this little manual fight that we gotta do right here. Maybe we could just not manually fight it. You're in camp, it's just that you're not healing much. It does say decisive victory and casualties low. I am somewhat concerned, but just do it. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. It's fine. We'll take it, and then we'll occupy it. I mean, we'll take it. And then you move right on in. Alright. Another stonemason, not for you, but in plenty of other lords and heroes in other locations. Oh, I should give you a stonemason. Like so. I was going to build some stuff here as well, but I don't think we want to spend any money yet. These two upgrades are relatively cheap. You know what? Maybe we can build them and cancel them next turn. Oh, wait, no. We'll do them next turn once we switch to Masters of Stone and Steel. Alright. Lord not moved, unassigned skill points, damaged buildings, outposts, and I guess end the turn. I do want to trade that Forbidden Citadel back and forth, but... Maybe we wait until this place is ready to rebel and then swap them. And then that'll give us, okay, don't collect the income. That'll give us more opportunity to capture more settlements belonging to the Demon Prince in order to trade them to the Urson Revivalists. Yeah. I wish that the border thing was at least, you know, like it would allow us to trade things like across maybe one territory, because sometimes it's kind of a hassle to build a bridge to trade stuff like this. And ooh, you're gonna lose this location, ain't you? Although it's the only location that you have in this particular, well, location, and frankly, these guys might declare war on us. We really need to split these armies off quickly. Anyway, end turn. Alright, convoy arrived, lovely. You have discovered a convoy belonging to the Chaos Dwarf on your lands. Their arrival has brought great rich. What are you doing, dwarfs? What? That shouldn't be possible. That, I can see the vein in Thorgrim's forehead now. Anyway, what is this? We got a new quest? Oh, yes, the Dragon Crown of Karaz quest. Yes, the control +2 for all provinces. We need to get on this very quickly, in fact. All right, so we'll deal with that. Oh, but it'll be wasting the grudges if we do it right now rather than in 2 turns. That's if we take another age as opposed to continuing doing what we're doing. That's a decision. Anyway, deep resource extraction. Yeah, you keep on doing that. Keep extracting those deep resources. This is a free kill. Well, you know what? Let it build up a little bit and then besiege the place and then we'll attack it. Yeah, maybe we could do the same thing here, at least while we're waiting for other units. Ooh, yes, heroes also. You are going to Thorgrim's army, right? Innovator, yeah, we got that best defense to pop onto all his gyrocopters and gyrobombers. Although if Thorgrim is going here, because there's no way that you're going to win this fight, just no frickin' way in hell. I guess, wait. There was a full stack here. Where's the full stack? I have concerns. It's not in Karataman's tomb, and it's not here anymore. Okay, 2 options. Option 1, it's attempting to ambush us. Option 2, it moved down here somewhere and is moving to take Blizzard Gap. Okay, well, on the one hand, that's annoying. Depending on whether they can actually reach Blizzard Gap or Skull Breach Cavern. Skull Breach. I like Skull Breach Cavern better. Makes it nice and cornate. On the other hand, without the presence of that army, we might be able to pull this off. Still unlikely due to the relatively elite nature and the fact that we're damaged. But a lot more likely than it was before. And then maybe we can move here. That's quite interesting. Alright, we got 2 more turns of this army available. Oh, well, that's also not the most viable. Too bad we couldn't, too bad we didn't intercept it. It clearly moved in tunneling stance. Come on, King Lon. You bring shame to the other King Lon. Well, not really, because you did great work over time. But anyway, Thorgrim, before I forget to do this, first of all, let's check the Thanes again. Hey, another Traumac. Okay, I guess you're staying here for another turn. We gotta pop that Thane in your army. And to do so, we need to either make Garagrim leave, which I think we shouldn't until we complete the quests, or let me get the Machinist one. I can just get a temporary lord to run around with these armies, or with these units. We don't have a free lord yet, do we? Overseer's back in 1 turn. You know what, I like it. I like it a lot. And this is our range overseer who is going to come down here anyway. So we save the turn, we transfer, we travel next turn then. Fair enough. While we're here, gold mining. Oh. Gotta put all the... Okay, this is going to be a hassle, but we need to do it. Fortunately, we have plenty of stonemasons. Stonemason 1. Okay, you know what? That's going to be faster to do it via this menu, which I don't usually use, but this is one of those rare situations where we can actually make good use of it. Stonemason, and then we still need 2 more stonemasons. And the only problem is, I don't know who we can take the stonemasons from. Oh, we should give you a stonemason as well. Just to build up here in Blackcrag quickly, including the deeps. Yeah, it's a lot better. Oh, need 2 more turns, eh? Alright. Do you have stonemasons, guys? You do. Stonemason 1. We need 3. Stonemason 2. Hopefully soon we'll have enough stonemasons all over the place that we'll never need to do this again, but, well, you know, penny pinching's kind of lorefully appropriate, wouldn't you say? Stonemason. There we go. Perfect. Then you get the stonemason.
King's command.
And you get the stonemason.
Mate of vengeance.
And I believe you get the stonemason.
Throne
There we
bearers.
go, the entire blob. Now Thorgrim's got a constructor army. 490, beautiful. Scrat mine, and I guess we're gonna go for the barley field here. We'll definitely want the Karaz Ankor, which is surprisingly cheap now. Ooh. We could actually fairly cheaply build the construction site, which we haven't been doing elsewhere, but it will mean construction cost reduction in the province. Though we won't be staying here for enough turns in order to make use of it. We would also get a lot of benefit out of the trading posts. Frankly, we would everywhere, because they give us growth and adjacency bonuses. Military-wise, is there anything that we need to build here that's critical? Well, we do want more gyrocopter capacity, but, you know... Yeah, I think we're still going to go Karaz Ankor. We are going to go the deeps as soon as we're able to build it for a lot cheaper now. Oh, we also... I forgot about this. We need to build the deeps upgrades here, the critical ones. Okay, you need to be upgraded. Alright, I have to think about this one. Do we go for the one that gives us 2,000 gold per... Huh. Did it get reduced? It used to be more than this. That's curious. Why did it do that? Well, either way, I think we're going to go for the repurposed countering room. Upkeep production for all units faction-wide, and in addition, 30% growth. Or 30 growth, rather. Plus all income from all buildings faction-wide will eventually make a lot more than the ornate counting room, I think. A repurposed counting room, I guess. And then we need to upgrade you, which we can easily do because you are costing us oath gold. Lovely. Now, I guess the question is whether we can risk switching you out to delete the stone bread bakery, or we could just wait until you're ready to start upgrading to tier 4 before removing it and replacing it with deeps. It's another option. Alright, also let's keep moving everybody else. Did I move the heroes along this time around? No. Okay, so you're a fire guy, right? Yes, so fire guy, you're going to the... You know what? You can actually join this army shortly.
Thirsts for war.
We can just transfer all of those guys together, so just sort of stay here. Or go to the edge of this. And then you're also a fire guy? Yeah. You go here. And then you go here, and then both of you will go into that army. You are a Thane. I was going to send you to... Well, I can put you in the Fire Army now as well then. Why not? Fire Army's going to need a Thane because we have the Ironbeard trait, which will buff both the... well, buff the Iron Drakes and the Chuckers. Alright, that's good.
Let us begin.
Speaking of heroes, you're another new Thane. Yes, you're going to the Ranger one to give snipe to the Rangers. And let's see if there's anybody else interesting. Okay, so no new Thanes. We don't have runesmith capacities, and ooh, we need the entrenched engineer. Desperately. Ugh. For Grimbrindle and for... yeah, definitely for Grimbrindle, because he won't give the trait. Okay, wait. Because it's a 40% range increase, and I also really want to see how well this works with the bonus range offered already by the Overseer. For all of these units. Frankly, we need multiples of these. Anyway, to do so, we're going to need capacities. In order to get capacities, I wasn't going to do this, but maybe we want to build the Engineer's Workshop. I wonder if we get bonus engineer capacity by getting Malachi. I'm willing to bet that we would. Does that mean it's time to confederate? I'm going to have to think about it. Anyway, I guess we can build a construction market here. We'll probably want these everywhere anyway. Frankly, we'll want one of these in Karaz-a-Karak because it's another 20% income from all buildings. It's just that we don't have the space for it right now. And do it. And then here, another gyrocopter building. It's gonna take a long time to get, but hopefully that guy won't despair. Ooh, but if we get it now, we won't be able to build the deep grung, the deep mine. Not that we're collecting income right now. Actually, we should collect income right now because we need the income. Alright, I think that's it. This is also potentially a good time for Thorgrim to... Ooh, but even we want to put the Thane in there first. To do his quest battle and then maybe get that Confederation up and running. Though, once again, the 500 grudges would be wasted anyway. For now, King Lun, you're gonna give this a try. I don't know if you can win this, but you were looking for your doom anyway, and perhaps your doom has found you. Pyrrhic victory. Alright. The auto-resolve at least thinks that it's possible. I think the auto-resolve is underestimating the fact that the units that are going to come onto the field are going to be unbuffed, but so are ours, and we're damaged. Nonetheless. You got this, King Lon. Go. Oh, I didn't quick save.
I'm here to die, but aren't we all? So let's take them with us when we go.
Alrighty, sounds good to me, King Lon the 96th. Let's see if we can pull this off. It's a heck of a Skaven stack. In fact, it is such an elite Skaven stack that I feel like I probably wouldn't build one of that nature, generally speaking, until basically the end game, because it's already too strong with way too many super elite units. Still, it'll be pretty fun to face off against these guys, and if our grudge settlers are not able to do so, then to die in the attempt. The Slayer Oath, after all, is not to kill, but to die. They are fighting the toughest opponents they can find in order to actually get themselves killed, so there's that. Anyway, we did deploy our units of gyrocopters and the quarrelers to try to knock out this enemy Grey Seer Plague so that he can't cast into our army. And the Grey Seer will die, but unfortunately, the clan rats that were deployed with him, or spawned with him, I don't remember, were able to close the distance with our quarrelers while they fired, and though the quarrelers wanted to back off, another menace below will be activated and continue attacking those quarrelers, which ain't so great. Probably a danger to our own quarrelers to launch those torpedoes at the clan rats, so we're going to get those whirling blades of death from the gyrocopters to try to knock out a few of those clan rats as well. Gotta do what you gotta do. Unit winning decisively in melee. Nice to see. For a gyrocopter. And I suppose with in Mr. Grimbrindle's army, since we get buffs for war machines, that would be more likely to happen. But I think with Grimbrindle, the war machine that will want to... because he gives melee defense to war machines, right? That's useless for artillery. But a Thunder Barge, and with a little bit of extra melee defense, now that I think we can do. Alrighty, and there we go, the rats. Oh my lord, they got another menace below coming in. The quarrelers with great weapons are attempting to back off, and ooh, it looks like landing and doing some damage to the enemy with the gyrocopters has actually paid off quite well, as all of the clan rats decide to chase down the gyrocopters, perhaps sensing that they are the most critical unit for the enemy army to destroy, vastly outweighing the worth of the rest of our army in terms of their effectiveness against the enemy single entities. Alright, time to move on in, though the reinforcements have arrived, and I do believe the enemy warp lightning cannons will begin firing away at us. Going to try to do our best to move out of their range, dodge their fire, and then move back around to try to knock said artillery out. In the meantime, we've got to try to save those quarrelers who have suffered fairly significant losses now from all of those menaces below, and so the grudge settler slayers have moved on in. We no longer care whether they live or die, at least not that much anymore, so we're free to use them. And they will, of course, take damage fighting the enemy clan rats. And, oh, probably take a little bit more damage from our own units as we burninate the clan rats as well. I didn't actually mean to do that. I guess the clan rats just drew a little bit too close. That's alright, though. It looks like the menaces below are not so menacing when faced off against something that can actually fight back, and the grudge settlers slayers have sent them packing. The rest of the enemy army has a long way to travel towards us, and this is absolutely by design. We want them taking their time to travel, and for our grudge settler, our gyrocopters, to deal with the enemy. Trollhammer gyrocopters. The enemy units of warp lightning cannons are going to be first on the menu. Definitely gotta knock these guys out because they are a huge threat to the gyrocopters. And a few volleys from them would likely be able to bring the gyrocopters down, so can't have that. And one more shot, and it looks like the artillery pieces are out, and we can get the heck out of here, ignoring the crew by and large, and moving towards the next targets of the Plague Claw catapults. We do, of course, still have a ton of enemy units that are going to be pretty critical to destroy. Ton of the Death Globes, the Poison Winds, the several units of Warp Fire Throwers, the Doom Wheel, the Hell Pit Abomination. Like I said, lots of elites in this army, so I don't think the gyrocopters are going to be able to handle them all. Still, this will have been a very storied unit of gyrocopters if we manage to pull this off. Although that remains to be seen. Once again, just lots of great work from the Grudge Settler armies. Alrighty, and the second unit of artillery, the first unit of Plague Claws, is nearly out. A couple more shots and it's going to be done for. The rest of the enemy army is drawing closer and closer. In fact, the second unit of Plague Claws might actually be able to reach our army, which ain't so great. Alright, come on, a couple more shots, and there we go. That unit is done for, and we move on to the next. The enemy unit of Skaven Slave Slingers, no, Gutter Runner Slingers with poison, are still annoying our gyrocopters. And, ooh, this statue, broken statue, is going to block off a few shots of those as well, so we're going to have to reposition while the enemy army gets closer and closer, and in fact, I believe has drawn into range and will begin firing away shortly. And we're going to try our best to back off a little bit further, give a little bit more time for the gyrocopter to fire, who looks like a glancing blow on one of the Longbeards, but he does manage to survive. Alright, turn around, and I guess this is where we're going to make our stand. We're starting to get a little bit close to the edge of the map here, and I don't want to go right up towards it because, yeah, and these Slayers will just move forward as well. At least this has allowed us to maintain distance from the enemy artillery, which are now out, and we're going to switch to other units. And I think this time, or the first unit we're going to switch to, is the Doom Wheel. While it isn't nearly as threatening as it would be against an army that has things like Thunderers, Iron Drakes, and Corlers, whatever, range units essentially. This unit has way too many melee units. It is still quite annoying in terms of being able to disrupt our formation, so can't have that. Anyway, the enemy draw close to the Iron Drakes, who begin burninating all those rats. Can't pick our targets as yet, they're just going to target whatever is the closest thing to them. And the enemy do have a fairly long distance to travel to get towards them, however, we won't be able to fire on the melee for too much longer, and we'll have to immediately switch to the enemy warp fire throwers, unless they draw close and start burninating us, and giving us a taste of our own medicine, plus warpstone. Alrighty, on the bright side, the enemy Doom Wheel is out. It is taking all the damage, and one more hit from those units of gyrocopters will knock it out. Unfortunately, while we've been targeting the other units like the Death Globes and the Poisoned Wind Mortars and the Poison Wind Globadiers and the Warp Fire Throwers, the Hell Pit Abomination has been charging forward. This does not look like 33 speed. Oh, there we go, it slowed down. I guess it has kind of some kind of acceleration charge animation. And though it's taking many a flame, oh, it'll actually completely ignore the unit of Longbeards that have engaged it to move against the units of Iron Drakes. Makes sense. Death Globes starting to attack our units of Longbeards as well, who start suffering casualties. We're going to try to help out and knock out the Hell Pit Abomination. It's time for our Slayers to move in, and our Iron Drakes to move out. The enemy has closed, and now we have Storm Vermin, Plague Monks, and Censor Bearers and other such units interspersed among our lines. And we're going to have to work for it. On the bright side, however, we can manage to destroy most of the enemy threatening units in terms of their weapons teams at least, and they're all booking it on out of there. And now the battle is a brawl. Hammerers and Longbeards versus the Ratty Elite. Fortunately, similar to our own army, the enemy army, is being a garrison army, is unbuffed, so both unit types are their base versions of themselves. We got some Death Runners in here, though their armor, their Weeping Blade, is a little bit wasted on the Slayers at least. Alrighty, and we're doing our best to burninate them all at the same time as well, where we can, firing over the heads of our own units, but, well, we can't do that a lot here because the line is engaged. Alright, out here these Censer Bearers have nearly killed off a unit of Longbeards. Hardly surprising, Censer Bearers have a massive amount of armor-piercing damage available to them, and frankly, if this unit is pretty much done anyway, we're going to drop a few flames on them to try to make sure that the Censer Bearers are knocked out. Well done to this unit of Longbeards for keeping them back, however. It was a necessary sacrifice. And it looks like these Censer Bearers are out. The enemy army is in horrible shape. In fact, all of the non-unbreakable, non-plague monk units have given up, and the battle is in fact ours. Just gonna have to work our way through the enemy remaining plague monks. And unlike the Censer Bearers, the regular Plague Monks are not going to have anywhere near the good time against the heavily armored units, and while our settlers were backing them up before, the Slayers are better off chasing the enemy down now. Alrighty. Nearly there. I saw a meme about the Settlers of Catan game earlier, and then I keep calling the Slayers Settlers instead. Maybe I should name one of them Slayers of Catan. Funnily enough, I've never actually played the board game before. I think there's an online version though. Maybe I should give that a try at some point when I'm bored. I've heard good things. Alrighty, and there we go. The last of the enemy rats are going to get burned down. I am very impressed that this army managed to take this particular location. Very heavy damage this time, plus that unit of Longbeards effectively destroyed by the Plague Monks, but most definitely worth it, as this is the last settlement of Clan Gnaw, and it does mean that we don't have to waste like 6 turns moving Thorgrim up here to deal with them. And good job to the rats for moving away and trying to go after one of our unprotected territories. Worked out very well for us. Ooh, alright, did manage to pull it up and get barely any money in reward, but we can use it to heal this army. They still have them for 2 turns, and hopefully we can, well, we'll be able to take the garrison. Don't know about the other army, but, anyway, heal up when well done to King Lund the 129th. Army replenishment. Yeah, now the unfortunate aspect of this is I forgot to... Quick save, though. Okay, we can still quick save here. Okay, good. Decisive victory, medium casualties, but frankly... Wait. We do this. Really? Doesn't matter. I guess we'll just auto-resolve it, because the thing is, at the end of the day, this army will be gone before we can use it again. Yeah, anyway, occupy. I'm so glad those guys moved away. We would not have been able... Oh, it's a tier 4. Wait, it was tier 5? Whoa. We just acquired the ability to build flame cannons and organ guns. Oh, yes, I want organ guns and thunderers working together. That's nice. That's real nice. Alrighty, anyway, we're keeping that, that's for sure. We will swap you into Masters of Steel and Stone. This was a nice find. We can't chase them down, but what we can do is peace out with them. I don't know what they do. They are at war with the North Confederacy. Maybe they'll move here and then we'll be able to wipe them out. You know what? I think we're going to do that. Silly as that might seem, it is also 5k for our trouble, and this way they can't go after our undefended territory. There we go. The annoying aspect of this is that they're going to start raiding these territories, but we can do maybe this, and then maybe they'll not do anything. They're not going to be able to retake Carataman's Tomb, which, because of the military infrastructure there, is probably pretty darn well defended. Thank you, King Lun. Well done, King Lund, the 201st. Anyway, the Thorgrim Grudgebearer. Alright, you're sitting here. You're sitting here for the turn. You gotta get that Traumac, and we probably gotta get that Confed up and running, especially since a lot of our territories will need the public order. We're gonna want to switch to Masters of Stone and Steel and most of them shortly and start building them up, especially if we are looking to delay the next stage. I'm still on the fence about it. because it means 10 turns less worth of grudge settler units, but I'll think about it. Anyway, you guys... Oh, you can move this turn as well. Well, isn't that lovely? I guess we should just proceed to Altar of Spawns, which is these guys' capital. Frankly, Monolith of Torgal, it is even part of this territory. Almost tempted to peace out with these guys. They're willing to offer us 7.6k gold. It would give us the time needed to destroy the Demon Prince before we're looping back around to Scarbrand. Yeah, and I mean, it's 7.6k gold. It will also allow them to recover some of their stuff, some of their troops and whatnot, but you know what? I think that works for me. Especially the money. That definitely works for me. Anyway, with that money, we can build a gem mine. Did I give you a stonemason? I did give you a stonemason. Good job, Pastor Ruinous. And, oh, right, I was going to use you to recruit some stuff, and I don't believe Scarbrand has anybody in range to attack us, so you can move to the edge of this territory. And, oh, well, we're gonna transfer anyway. What are we at here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We are missing 7 units. We have to have an engineer, probably 2 engineers in Gromby's army, so that's 5 units missing, not 7 then. Meaning, we need to recruit 2 more units, meaning... wait. Well, it'll probably be a while before we get all the engineers. Let's get 2 Thunders in order to evolve them to Iron Drakes eventually. Though we can now build Iron Drakes, which is great. Yeah, that's fine. And then we should build some upgrades in this territory. So we'll do this, Gem Mine, and Goral Mine, and Goral Mine, and I did go for the Karaz-a-Karak, the Vaults here, but I may swap that out later to a different thing. Let's upgrade this location to tier 3, Karaz-a-Karak. With a higher tier, it'll have a better garrison and thus be a little bit more likely to be able to defend itself. 2 extra Longbeards is a lot better than just the Dwarf Warriors after all. And I would like to do the same thing to Karaz-a-Karak as well, but for now. Yeah, all that extra money paid off. And then you can go back briefly at least and to venerate the ancestors. I guess we would like to build the... Oh, you know what? We'll build the granary if I don't immediately forget after we take the Altar of Spawns. Wait, if you go into encamp stance, would you be able to reach it and still reinforce? Let's find out. We have nobody there. Oh, poor Demon Prince. Now, oh, he's backing off because he knows that this is coming. Sucks to be you. He attacked us. Hey, he dropped 2 armies on top of our armies when we were attacking the Steel Fist Reavers, or whatever they're called. I guess we could just auto-resolve this. I was expecting an army there, but there isn't one. Auto-resolve. Let's see the damage. Okay, more severe than I would like, but we got the little bit of a cash that we wanted. We will occupy rather than loot and occupy. And we got some stuff there. And hopefully... Ooh, another Dwarf Bride. Yes, please. That means another 10% income in our main territory, as another one of the rearguard lords can... where are we here? Can have the Dwarf Bride Ancillary. We also do have the other Cooper, but we have nowhere to put it. There we go. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And we are upgrading this, and we are upgrading this. Alright, pretty happy with that. The deeps are coming along nicely, and our territory is coming along nicely while we develop the deeps. Love it. Alright, what about... Wait, oh, right. I wanted to put the Traumac guy in. We need to get to Elspeth. We have spare heroes. I don't want to get a spare Thane right now. Oh, we don't have any spare engineers. Ugh, that's unfortunate. We need to identify the Empire. Just finding Elspeth and getting a defensive alliance with her will mean identifying all the other Imperial territories and getting trade agreements with them. And identifying the Empire will identify Bretonnia, which will identify a bunch of other things. Also the Wood Elves, who we're going to have to kill, but, you know. Man, alright, fine. We'll do a temporary Thane. I kind of don't want to pay 1,000 gold for it, but at the same time, I don't see how we have a choice in the matter. We had another... cheap runes. Oh, actually not so cheap. Okay, fine. Alright, we'll just do the Thane one. Anybody, or are you enemy hero success chance? I guess we'll do with you. It's worth it, because the trade agreements with them will pay for themselves by a huge, huge margin, won't they? Ugh, alright, fine. Expenditure. Alrighty, oh, and by doing that, we no longer have enough to upgrade the granary. You see what happens? No alliances with elves. Western provinces wants a defensive alliance. I would do it, but frickin' Kairos is right beside you, man. We could do the alliance with Angren, but that doesn't really help us. And the Darkland Bandits are at war with 2 factions which would become visible, and we don't need them to be aware of us right now, so I don't think we can do any of this. Legion of Chaos wants peace. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. That's not gonna happen. Is this the time to trade Tower of Karak? I think we can wait another turn or so. Alright, I think it's all going okay up there. Huh. Wait, do we have additional recruitment time here? Yeah, we do. Okay, I was wondering whether we could build some cannons, but it's okay. Does Grimbrindle want maybe some cannons and organ guns? They would work nicely with the... Well, no, I think I want those with thunder as well. Not necessarily the cannons. Okay, we'll have to think. Actually, yes, the cannons. Cannons and... Yeah, that'll be the Thunder Army, which is coming. Everything's coming, so I should giggle. I guess that's it for the turn, then. Not gonna level up Thorgrim, not going to attack these guys. We got 2 more turns. We can skip. We're at peace with those Skaven now. Though there's a decent likelihood that they'll raid us and then randomly declare war, but we can sort of shadow them with another army. Another issue with delaying the Age of Reckoning is this, now that I think about it. We'll get a new Grudge Settler army spawning, and then it won't have too much to do if we're not declaring new wars, eh? Which ain't so great. Whereas we could declare war on these guys, we could march down to the, to 8 Peaks. Might just do another one and turn. Faction destroyed, Clan Na. How did that happen? Did they move to Vitrol and then get intercepted by something? How did they die? Huh. Well, that's interesting. I have no idea. Either way, you're going to the Empire. We gotta get ourselves some new trade friends, and Finn Arkandreskilson is back. He's done great work for us over the course of the campaign, and, well, it doesn't matter that they ignore this. Oh, Clan Moor's encounter. That's a nice defeat trade for Thorgrim. Negative growth will go to hell. And despises Urks. No, just wanted to see what it does. Still haven't, Zaki is nice, but anyway, still haven't gotten any of the reductions in construction traits for anybody. Go figure. Maybe it has been removed. Completely changes the way that I play these guys, but oh well. Anyway, one turn. Alright, well, this was an ideal time for Thorgrim, I guess, to sit here. Anyway, I guess rather than building the chopper thing, we're gonna build the deeps. And we just need to wait 2 more turns to do it, which is fine. You, Guildmaster, Overseer, are gonna get on field now. Like so. And I guess we can move Thorgrim here. Even if we can't directly jump on these guys from this location, we might be able to go pop, pop, and then, you know. Who's around here other than Morse? Oh, Morse is quickly taken over these guys. So these guys, yeah, Skarsnik is basically done. But as long as Morse hasn't declared war on us, we're okay, at least so far. You get... Huh. Is it me, or has it not been several turns? Should the Red Fangs rebels not have gotten a larger complement of units? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. You know, let's do the tool market. Construction cost for a resource-producing building. It's time to invest in those since we're investing in the... Just double checking. Since we're investing in trade in general, we'll do that, tool market, and then go into underway trade caravans in order to get Thane's authority and the +2 control and additional Thane capacity. Too bad the engineer capacity is down here, but decent likelihood that we book it towards that as well, because we need more engineers. Don't we always? Alrighty, let's see what we're looking at here. So, firstly, how are we doing? Is this the last of the Demon Princess territories in this direction? It is. So we will probably want to move towards it before backing around this way, or maybe we don't. Okay, wait. If you two can move towards... No, you cannot. Ah, okay. And this is why these armies need to be separated into 2 armies, because so that way they'd be able to move in separate directions, but right now they can't do it. It's all good. They're also not healing much, but, well, we're in red territory, and there's not much we could do about it right now. What we can do, though, is this. Tower of Karak for the Forbidden Citadel. Assuming we can't give you Monolith of Torgal directly. We cannot. Alright. Forbidden Citadel for Tower of Karak. Minus 36 now. Oh, no, that's not working anymore. What if we join your war against Sarl and Scaling? No dice. Damn, I should have done it immediately when... Okay, slight change of plans. You are going to jump down to Crow Brethren Roost. We're going to occupy it with you, and then we're going to trade it to these guys, which will complete their province and hopefully be worth it. And then we'll try to transfer them this stuff. The things we do just to try to give these guys some territory. But we do want them protecting our northern sort of territories. Oh wow, we gotta give them 2 sets of dies. Yeah, but it's not like we want to deal with red territory. It's too much of a hassle. Even if we just keep them as uncollecting income, the time and the additional costs of construction here is just too much of a hassle. Don't want to deal with it. Anyway, Thorgrim. So the thing I wanted to do with you, sir, is this. You are going to now transfer the Quarrelers. Wait a moment. Quarrelers. You can be upgraded to Iron Drakes, but nothing of significance here. Alright, fine. Yeah, alright. You are going to trade the Quarrelers. And both of these Grudge Throwers. Thorgrim isn't reliant on those. He was never going to have artillery. His gyrocopters are his artillery. And then you, Trom guy, you're gonna move into this army. Then, I mean, we'll keep Gargrim with us for leveling, at least for now. We have barely any units here, but that's alright. Ooh, wait, I almost forgot. We need to get the Slayers Grudge Settlers and the Grudge Throwers Grudge Settlers in an army. It doesn't really matter which army, as long as an army has those for now. We'll transfer them to another army later. I guess this is a decent option. Grimly, yeah, no, okay, fine. We'll do some Slayers with you. 1 and a 2. At least this way they won't go to waste. Alright, like so, and then go back here. There you go. And plus this will make your army a little bit more viable until you've got your other troops as needed, where needed, etc. Alrighty, Thorgrim, you will now move towards Caracade Peaks. Like so. What's this? Oh, okay. I thought it was orcs. We really do want these territories as well, but how big is this faction, incidentally? Not that big. Slaneshi Giggle. 6 territories, eh? Do we prioritize that over 8 peaks right now, is the question. Now, the problem with 8 peaks is this. As soon as we get up there, Moors will declare war on us, and then we have to fight them. How many territories does Moors have? Although, once again, we do want Vermin Flail, the defeat trait, on Thorgrim. Even defeat traits are really nice. They're also fighting Exiles of Nehek. Ooh, that's a potential ally. Keepers of the Mountain and Clan Angron, assuming that they're not in the mountains. Alright, fine. We'll maybe make another army to take these guys out. We'll go for 8 peaks. Belagar will be so happy. Alright, and then you stay here, sir. And we don't need another Thane with you. Ooh, right, the Dragon Slayers. Do want to get some Dragon Slayers. You know what, I don't dislike the slippery ones, so let's go for a slippery one. I feel like we should get some of them on field, plus they help heal. Let's do that. And Gargrim's going to lead Thorgrim's army, so we're going to get a either Ungrim Slayer army or another one. Speaking of Ungrim, how's he doing up here? How's our Confederate? Well, if we Confederate, we're going to go to 0 income again, and I think we're not yet ready for it. I would like to, however, take a look at this. What are we looking at here? 6, 4, 8, and 2. So Malachi is still hanging around with 2. Does anybody know what the deal is with Malachi? Because Malachi gets unique items from his... he has those quests, right? I forgot what they're called. Adventures. And each one gives him unique items. I assume that the AI gets them immediately completed as soon as he unlocks them, but I don't any longer remember what exactly Malachi needs to do to unlock each one. The thing is, we want as many of them completed so that he brings with him the riches from those adventures, rather than confederating him and, you know, not getting any of those. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense? If anybody remembers how that works, please let me know, because it might determine when we confederate them. I think I might put a vote... I think I might put a vote down below as to who we confederate first, because... they're all decent options. Ungrim will give us the ability to get the Slayer army up and running. Malachi will obviously give the Spirit of Grungni, which is... and Slayer Pirates, and also reduce Slayers faction-wide as well, I think. I could be mistaken, but I think. Belagar will do Rangers, Bugman's Rangers, compared to the Rangers that we're doing right now, but that's probably the least big deal. I don't remember what faction-wide buffs he has. Thorik has great faction-wide buffs because he reduces our use of the cost of Oath Gold in the Forge. So they're all, I mean, other than possibly Belagar, depending on what he actually does, those are the best options. They're all good options. Yeah, I'm probably going to put it to a vote. Somebody remind me, maybe next episode. And then I'll just act based on that. Most likely. Or maybe this episode, if I remember. Anyway, let's keep going, shall we? Is there anything else we need to do this turn? Oh, right, we need to move all the heroes. Alright, so you, keep moving this way. You will move... Huh, I thought you could reach Gribbletown before, but you no longer can. Oh, I know why you can't anymore, because you're in High King's Tribute now, which means you're generating money, but you're slowing down the armies here. That's alright, though. We're gonna pop in a Thane. This is all going to the Fire Army. Thane for you, and... 2 Fire Engineers for you. Beautiful. Alright, and you're only a couple of turns away. Grunny Morgrimmel. I was gonna send you to Thorgrim because I was assuming Thorgrim was gonna come up here, but that's no longer the case, meaning you... Oh my lord, you have a long way to travel. You know what? I'm gonna pop you into this army as well, and this army will be able to reach it faster because we can jump over mountains using the underway stance. Which the other guys can't do, you know. Also, we don't have another rearguard lord, do we? We do not. Alright, we're good. Let's see... Kinglon. So many Kinglons, and this Kinglon is done. Goodbye, Kinglon. I guess we could, Oh, this is how that, Skaven army was destroyed. Well, thank you, North Confederacy. North Confederacy of the Southern Realms. We are going to... I'm happy with you. You, stay in stance, get a little bit of public order here for us. And then you, I guess, are going down this way. Or this way. Join an army. Alright, and I think that's it for what we gotta do this turn, unless I'm mistaken. We're not attacking, because we'd be wasting our points. There is the option of recruiting some stuff, but I think we're okay. Alright, and let's check Diplo before we end the turn, and then proceed to a new age, and I guess new wars. Nothing important here. Alright, you just gotta find those Imperials and get that trade going with them. Skip. Yep, building upgrade available, and... Wait, I just want to double check the deeps. Alright, nothing to do. We got 2 turns until we can build another structure there. End turn. Alright, there we go. Age of Reckoning, Nolan Grom again. We are good in that regard, and... What do we need for the next one? Whoa, it's 41,000 now? It was 28,000 for that... Wait. It went from 28,000 to 41,000, and if we delayed it'll be another 20%, but that's a pretty big increase. Especially considering that a lot of these places, like this one's worth 600. Is that even possible? Huh. I thought they changed it to make it, you know, more viable to do that, but I don't know if those changes have been sufficient. Nonetheless, I'd hate for all of the grudges to go to waste, and we're gonna be fighting Moors and the Crooked Moon, so I guess we're going with another age, and with the desperation. Ooh, what do we have here? Durek Grundadrak. Ah, it's the son of Herrick Grundadrak. Oh, wow, okay, that's fantastic, and he's got a lot of hammers, and this time he's got a flame cannon, but no iron drakes to rely upon. Interesting. Anyway, enter a new age. Here we go again. Alright. A mission aborted Urson Revivalists because somebody was destroyed. There's that construction building, another stonemason. Good. We were gonna go for underway trade caravans, so that's what we're going to still do. Alright, and that looks okay. Next up, you. Okay, let's move the heroes. You're gonna go find some Imperials to trade with. Did we have contact with these guys? I don't know. Oh, they're at war. They're kind of in a stalemate, meaning this faction probably can't move anywhere. And it's probably inevitable that these guys also declare war on us, but anyway. For now, let's get moving all the heroes. I imagine Thorgrim won't be able to jump down to... Oh, he will. Oh, that's beautiful. I am pleasantly surprised. You, as soon as that guy starts moving, there we go, we'll be able to move ourselves. Go down here. Is there any reason not to do this immediately? Yes, there is. If we need to build something here... We're one turn away from building the deeps. We reduce it by a very significant margin by Thorgrim being here. But I also don't want to waste Thorgrim's turns now that we got time. So yeah, you're going down here. Wonder where Skarsnik is. The main issue would be him doing the same thing to us, but I guess what we can do is we can march you here. Ooh, but you probably don't have enough movement compared to the other guys. Nonetheless. And you can't conquer this, though we do want to conquer it. Yeah, I guess your best bet is to move down this way. So you can move either here, or you can move... Okay, now you can move further in march stance. Alright, you are going to join this army. Punish troops, and then you are going to transfer all of these units to another army, because that's where you were going. Let's check new lords. Specifically guild masters, but nothing interesting. Nothing interesting. Incisive is good, but we don't need another one right now. Especially because it's costly. Can we kill off this little army now? Just with a quick little auto-resolve, just to get a little bit of extra XP, I think we can. I think rebel armies can't run. So we're free to do this unless I'm mistaken. I should have taken you out of that stance, but I guess it doesn't matter because it's a weak little rebel army. Auto-resolve. Alright, a little bit of damage and a little bit of cash, 2,000 gold. Alrighty, and Ruby Ring of Ruin might actually keep it in this one time. Another Runesmith's Apprentice, and I assume you're not going to heal unless you're in camp, so we'll do this. And we'll attack you next turn, or attack with this location next turn. You guys can still stay near, unless we want to send you down there to take control of this army for now. You have Incisive and Craven by name, whereas the leveled up one, is level 10 now, has Incisive but doesn't have the... Craven by name thing. Now, Craven by name gives the Goblin Hewers up to 44 speed. That's actually pretty solid. Fine. Alright, we'll keep it on you for now, unless we have an Overseer lead your army. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh, I just screwed up, didn't I? You need to now march stance out of here, because you might get caught. And I guess you're in the same situation. Go here. We're still going to attack Grosdrung afterwards. Alright, you two are moving. Thorgrim is moved. Vikram, you are trying to transfer to the Fire Army, and ooh, you're nearly there. That's beautiful. Because we want this army to get its new stuff. Maybe use a couple of these Dwarf Warriors as gyrocopters and transfer them to Thorgrim, potentially. Anyway, Grimly and Gromby. The Grim and the Grom. What do we have here? Monolith of Valmir has a decent amount of defenders, and Azen Conclave has a less decent amount of defenders.
Yes.
Could we, potentially, go here, and then have Gromby attack this? Maybe. Alright, wait. If you do this, I don't see another army out here, and then we'll have Gromby reinforce this. Like... So, let's see if he can still reach the Monolith of Valmir from here. He can. Alrighty, and he can reinforce, giving us an easy kill here. Easy win, whatever. Though we did take damage, and then we'll occupy the place. Like so. And then obviously uncollect the income. We'll be transferring this to Boris anyway, and then you can attack Monolith of Valmir. Like so. And... this is decisive victory, low casualties again. Oh, but it'll kill off one of our miners with blasting charges, so we might fight this. Alright, let's give that a second. I just want to see about this. Okay, good. You still do get Crow Brethren Roost, and though it is expensive, we are going to colonize it in order so that we can trade it to Boris. I'm gonna double check what it's worth right now. Crow Brethren Roost is worth 19, so not nearly as much as the Tower of Crack yet, but that's going to change eventually. I guess we could build the sparring chamber here to try to make the Forbidden Citadel worth more, and repair it. Hopefully that won't mean the immediate attack from the Exiles of Khorne. On the bright side, the Demon Prince is nearly done for. He wants peace, but... well, 7.6k. Not gonna do it as yet. Anyway, Bron can doom you. Who can you doom? Keep going down here. You have the Traumac trait. Rearguard Helldower. We don't have any new rearguards. We're in Western Provinces. I was hoping for more trade with more... more of those guys. I guess we're waiting the turn and then attacking next turn since we don't want these guys to get attacked. Though on the other hand, I suppose... these guys still have a stack here. They do not. They could very well attack them now. While it would be dangerous, who are you at war with? Can we declare war on you? You have no allies, and you are at war with Sires of Morcane and House of Berserk. That's quite interesting. I wonder if Imric's still alive. Whoa, there's Skaven Corruption at 81 in Graves of the Dragons. Huh, that's interesting. And... I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. We gotta fight something. Alright, let's fight something. You're gonna hit to Broken Toothhold, I think. Gotta get started on this, or we'll get screwed over. And I guess we can auto-resolve this. I'm a little bit oh wait, no we can't, right. Fine, fine, and we have to swap these units around, but we'll do that when we get back. Alright, so let's fight this real quick after we level up Gromby. I guess we're gonna fight, so let's do Age of Vengeance for the additional speed, and then we'll go back to Eagerkin and the faction-wide buffs afterwards. You've got 3 points to you now. We'll get your Retinue Valet, but keep moving towards Retinue Physician, and then you, sir. You have Ironbeard, which is the main thing that we wanted you for, and we're gonna try to go through Inherited Arms in order to get to Revered Thanes, so we'll grab, I guess, Unfaltering into Revered Thane. Beautiful. Alright, that looks good. We will level Grimly once he has forces, yeah. Hit this. Yep, still can't, wait. No. Alright, fine, fair enough. Fight battle, real quick.
This is the day to strike many grudges from the Great Book. So, let us record great deeds this day, and give these scum a right royal hammering!
Alrighty, here we go. Got our first unit of Iron Breakers together with our unit of Iron Drakes. And as we can see, due to the heavy armor and the sort of metal beard shields that they both have, though obviously smaller beard shields on the Iron Breakers, they will fit very nicely with each other. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off by moving towards the enemy skull cannons, and not just using the gyrocopters with brimstone guns against them, but you can spot the bolts flying in from the bolt throwers. Those are, of course, going to go into Grimly Coral Seeker's army, because he likes corals, whether that means fighting, or whether that means shooting corals, or that means shooting out the big corals in the form of the bolts of the bolt throwers. Is there a fundamental difference between a coral and a bolt, or are they interchangeable? Does one have fletchings and the other one not? I don't know. I have to look that up, unless somebody can cares to enlighten me. Anyway, the skull cannons are an extreme threat in SFO, because in like the base game where they have 1 unit, they have 4 here, and we certainly can't let these guys fire even a few volleys off at our Iron Drakes. Fortunately, between all of the anti-large on our artillery and our gyrocopters, they will be brought down rather quickly. Our units of gyrocopters with brimstone guns will then switch to firing on the enemy Fleshhounds of Khorne, because Fleshhounds are large units, and so we can still take advantage of that, while our pretty darn accurate units of artillery and bolt throwers will be firing away at this enemy Blood Reaper, who, interestingly, gets knocked down by fire from these things, meaning a lot of invincibility frames, and we'll probably take damage only from one bolt at a time. But oh well, still a good use of them, because it's they're highly accurate. Gotta remember to give them the various runes of Seeking, of Burning, or whatever other artillery things we can put on. Oh, head over heels knocked down, and he's down below half HP as well, and the Fleshhounds are also in pretty bad shape, down to about 30% of their HP. A couple more shots, and they're going to start melting away, and then we can simply switch to the next Fleshhound unit. Ooh, and moving like this, where the brimstone guns are able to fire parallel to the deployment, is very bad for these guys, and they'll take a lot more damage doing that. Alrighty, a couple more shots, and it looks like this unit is melting away. The enemy lord has been killed off by our artillery. There we go. dropped. The Herald of Khorne dropped from a distance. Ouch. Unfortunate for him. And it does look like more enemy units are moving up on our flanks. Fleshhounds once again, and well, we'll switch some of our range units to fire upon them, including our newly acquired Iron Drakes. You guys better be worth it, because you're like twice as expensive as the Thunderers that we had before you.
What's going on here? I'll have no more of this.
Of course, we want them on field for flavor and for variety. Not because we couldn't do this with just the Thunderers. And we still gotta get that Thunderer army up and running as well. So many things to try, so many things to do, but, well, we got a lot of territory to cover, so I think it's still working. Anyway, the doggos are having a pretty bad day now, as the anti-large Trollhammer torpedoes are going to be obliterating many of them. Looks like both units down below half HP, since they're kind of moving together. Looks like actually all 4 units of Fleshhounds all over the map are now melting. And these ones from the gyrocopters, these ones now under fire from our bolt throwers, and then these ones from the Trollhammers. Works for me. Do the tier 5 Dwarfen engineer units have a different function? I believe they're also a torpedo infantry, similar to these guys, or the torpedo guys anyway. Do they just fire slightly longer ranged, or slightly shorter range, I think, actually, torpedoes, or do they have some other niche? Well, they do have that ballistics calibration on them as well, so that does make sense. Either way, we'll get some of them in this army, most likely, since this is our Trollhammer army. Anyway, here come the Bloodletters of Khorne aplenty. It looks like this is a very Khornate-heavy army, I guess, despite being a Demon Prince force minus the small amount of Slaaneshi units. This was largely Khornate because it was probably developed, or recruited rather, in a Khornate province. Out here we have our Iron Breakers holding the enemy back, heedless of the flames and the demons around them. And heavily armored and resistant enough to not care so much. They don't have a lot of fire resistance, unfortunately. I think perhaps it would be nice if Grumbrindle had that same Master Armor trait that the Overseers do, to give these guys an additional 30% fire resistance, especially since they're likely to be used with Iron Drakes of various types. And both the... let's see... On fire. Yeah, both of the Iron Drakes units. But anyway, it looks like the enemy's flanking maneuver has failed, though they have managed to close the distance with at least a few of our Iron Drakes. They can feel free to burninate each other, as they've got the fire resistance aplenty. And there we go with that. The entire enemy army melts away, and Grumbrindle breaks them with ease. All right, there we go. It's just a random smattering of troops that we've got from a combination of Confederation and random recruitment, but it's still a pretty cool army. The Iron Breakers, Dwarf Warriors, Miners of Blasting Charges, Flamethrowers, Trollhammer Torps, Quarrelers, Gyrocopter, and Bolt Throwers. No rhyme or reason to it, but the combined arms is pretty fun to watch. Gotta admit, Occupy, please don't crash, because I forgot to... Okay, now we're good. We're good. Alrighty. And the Demon Prince is definitely on the way out. Just a couple more territories to take, and you're not collecting income here. Just gotta do the trade thing with Mr. Boris after all this. And it'll be fine. Hopefully the Tower of Karak doesn't rebel. If it does, we're gonna have to recapture it and then trade it to Boris again, because we need to get him these territories. Or we just transfer him the Forbidden Citadel, which in 2 turns... And, wait. Forbidden Citadel... 40... 19 versus Tower of Karak, 76. How is this 76? It's 1 village and 1 garbage market. It's tier 1. What are you talking about, Boris? AI is kind of insane on these for some reason. especially for tier 1 settlements. And yeah, I get the reasoning behind it. It's probably so that you don't just steal all of the AI's hard-earned territories, or maybe not so hard-earned, just generally territories, but it's still kind of mildly infuriating, if anything. Anyway, I think we're ready to end the turn this time around. I don't think I've forgotten anything, and if I did, it's too late to cry about it now. Skip, outpost available. Yeah, save the money, end turn. Oh, well, darn, Mr. Liberus is going to attack us in a mini little fight, and while we could handle... All the regiments are renowned, so silly. And oh, darn, it's the Altar of Spawns. This is one of the places that we wanted to trade to Boars, because it's going to be worth a lot, because it has a military infrastructure. The main problem with winning this is the Sibilant Slaughtercade and the Barons of the Bog, neither of which would probably be an easy thing to do, but if we can hold the tide back, we might be able to gun them down. I mean, I guess we'll give it a try. What kind of spells do you have? Blue and pink fire. Alright, fair enough. Give it a try. Whether you die or you don't doesn't really matter, but it might be a fun little fight anyway.
Let's settle some grudges.
Alrighty, here we go. Perhaps not the most necessary fight to fight, considering we're not going to win this, but at the same time, it's sometimes on occasion nice to fight a little last stand battle with some of our units, especially considering they are such a rarity in the campaign. Anyway, I'm going to start the battle off by trying to knock out a few of those enemy units of the Demon Spew with our Grudge Throwers. Granted, if we were at 100%, heck, if we were at 80% of HP rather than like 35 or 40% of our units' HP, the enemy would stand no chance. But our units are so heavily damaged that we don't have a sufficient weight of fire on our Quarrelers and our Thunderers in order to actually make it count. So, what are you gonna do? Anyway, enemy's gonna move on in. We're gonna try our best to knock out at least a few of the enemy units. The Sibilant Slaughtercade is a very threatening unit as well, and we are going to have to try to do our best to kill it off. Otherwise, it'll just disrupt our formations. We're going to countercharge it best we can with the Thane, though it looks like the enemy hits us hard with a nice blue fire, which knocks out plenty of the units of Thunderers, which ain't great because we really need them to actually dish out damage. Keep firing on those chariots as best you can. And it looks like they've realized that they can't do anything about the Thane and will move towards the Longbeards instead. Still get trapped. After all of our units are in their shield wall stance, or at least they should be. Huh. Wait, this one lost it? Oh, wait, I don't know. Huh. Did I forget to put the Longbeards in shield wall? Or did they not have it? These guys are in shield... Okay, game, please, can I select a unit? Yeah, you're in shield wall, you guys are not. Maybe it's because they disrupted their formation. Huh. No, either way. Not super important. We just got to try to close the distance with the Brutes of the Hound as well while we keep firing on that Sibilant Slaughtercade, which has... so far lost only one unit, and we basically used up all of our resources, all of our range resources on trying to damage these guys. So it's a very cool looking chariot. I do like these things. And there we go. It looks like regardless of all those resources, they're still going to be able to break through with two of the units and charge towards our Quarrelers here. Although the unit will not melt, it will rout, it'll probably also be coming back. Ooh, a nice pink fire through our lines of Longbeards. Probably not a crazy amount of damage, but some. And of course they're holding off the Forsaken, which we don't have enough armor piercing to deal with. The Demon Spew here. And the Brutes of the Hound together. Well, they're just going to try their best while we switch our limited amount of range units to try to fire upon the enemy Herald of Tzeentch up in the sky. Can't be having to drop more pink and blue fires upon our units. I would have loved to have targeted it from the start, but with the Sibilant Slaughtercade running around, if we had tried that, it would have just gone into our backline and prevented us from firing anyway, so there wasn't really too much of the point. Speaking of the Sibilant Slaughtercade, it routed and then returned. Still two units being unable to knock it out, and stopped a few of these guys from firing. Pink Horrors firing away at our Quarrelers, and I think this is the Chromatic Brahma. No, these are the Blazing Squealers. And blazing they are. Here comes the blue fire as well, who along our entire line of Thunderers, which are down to 15 units. And I do believe our melee units are just about broken. Dwarf warriors unable to hold back the Barons of the Bog, who basically took no damage fighting them, but hardly surprising as their basic units. Our Longbeards have broken under the onslaught of the Forsaken and the Marauder Berserkers, and with that I do believe our units are done. Our Thane has even broken and admittedly taken quite a lot of damage, so that's hardly surprising. But this was always going to be a last stand, and it's also, you know, it's a Demon Prince territory, a red territory, a territory we don't care about. Boris will care about it because he's now going to get it at a lower level than we would have given it to him otherwise. But oh well. Hey, at least we managed to make the doggos run away with the Dwarf Warriors. Still, a nice little last stand for a doomed pile of units, considering we couldn't quite manage to get the last stand for the Grudge Settler army. These guys took their place. Alright, well, we tried. Just too many regiments of renown, even with all of our range units trying to focus them down. The Sibilant Slaughtercade was not destroyed, neither was the enemy lord, and, well, not a big deal. Not like we were looking to hold this particular territory anyway. I kind of regret not moving southward and knocking out that one last territory to the south, but oh well. Either way, every time a different faction retakes the settlement, it just means that the settlement is a lower tier, though it does mean it'll be worthless to Boris, but what can you do? Alright, settlement lost or sacked. Oh, they sacked it, yes. That was your capital, was it not? Why would you sack it? Huh, even at tier 2, it still has the siege workshop, so it, even without repairing it, it might behoove us to actually defend it, so maybe we'll send Grimly back around this way, and I guess march stance and leave Gromby to take out these two locations before moving back southward. Probably the better way to do it. Ooh, free remnants of battle. Maybe we'll take that as well. Anyway, Gromby, you're going to proceed to Gorehunt Hall, though I think, let's see, there is a few units to destroy there, and maybe I'll do that between the episodes, because it's kind of a waste of time. And while we could auto-resolve it, we'll be even more severely damaged. I'll think about it. Grimly, then you are going to march stance down to the Altar of Spawns, and maybe take these guys out. They'll probably recover some units, but I'd rather... Oh, okay. They'll probably go back to their own territory first. Oh, or they might loop around and go for Monolith of Torgald, but that, I mean, doesn't really matter to us. Anyway, and Groth Asgal, you are moving in to transfer units, and that has not changed, so you're going to start here in Karaz-a-Karak, though with the public order being what it is, we might even want to... Assuming we don't want to build something. Maybe next turn we'll get a little bit more public order and then switch you to income as well. Yeah, switch you to income, but anyway. It is plus 40%. Hey, demolition complete, blocked tunnels, and entrance halls complete, meaning we've got... Ooh, Karaz-a-Karak's also ready to go up to tier 4, and reasonably cheaply. Huh. Wait, did they get a bonus bit of growth? I thought it was still a couple of turns remaining. Whatever. What do we got here? So you're good now. Generating a little bit more money via trade. Still not that much, but well, it'll rise. And so then I should giggle. And I guess we'll want to get another repurposed counting room here, and then followed by another trade building. I mean, more upkeep production spams. There is also the repurposed guild foundries for even more upkeep production. Technically speaking, if we get like, I don't know, 20 deep structures, we'd be able to get minus 100% upkeep production and then have as many armies everywhere as we want. That's, I guess, in some ways going to be the win condition. For now, we'll keep using the just regular money generators, but keep an eye to switching them to the repurposed guild foundries. Yeah, still probably want to go for the repurposed countering. Once again, we'll still need money here, growth here, and this thing does give us growth in addition to the fact that it gives us the income faction-wide stuff. And, oh, wait. When any adjacent, oh, it's adjacent region. Ah, meaning it works for Karaz-a-Karak, but it doesn't work for this place, meaning that, yeah, this is this place we wouldn't want to build the trade agreement, the trade building. Granted, 20% tariffs and 10% tradable resources is still decent, but compared to what it does when it has the bonuses, it's not that much. We could also replace it with the additional various types of trade goods via the Underdeep mine, which is also pretty solid, and it's a decent bit of oath gold, a little bit of cash. Wouldn't say no to it. Is that better than the faction-wide stuff? That I'm not so sure. So I think we'll still go for the repurposed counting room first and then maybe switch to the Underdeep mine there. Anyway, that looks good to me. Is there anybody defending Karagrill in the first of the 8 Peaks settlements? By the looks of it, no. It's free real estate. Alright, we still have the Rune of Burning on Mr. Thorgrim, which we don't need. Where's that Rune of Burning? Oh, just do this. There we go. I don't know why I was looking at it like that. Karagrill, auto-resolve, a little bit of damage, I'm sure, but doesn't really matter. At least not over much. Occupy. Alright, Potion of Foolhardiness and the Scolder Guard, which are going to be going into... Oh, right, I gotta remember to put those into... and Norgrimling's Ironbreakers, ooh. Into Grimbrindle's army. And speaking of putting stuff in armies... Let's get the gyro captures with grudge settlers in this army as well. They were always going to go in this army, and I'm just going to forget if I don't do it now. Well, maybe not forget, but look at all those heroes. It's silly, but hey, if it's working, it's working. All right, and then I guess we'll move to Karagloon and then just jump around between these guys until we find Queeky and then knock him out and declare war on him as well. Durak Grundadrak. I guess we're just going to march stance this way towards Skullchasm, as we'll want to attack all 3 of these settlements simultaneously. Especially considering we need to get a move on with all of this. Are you able to... You're able to jump here. Not quite to where we want you to go. I guess what we could do with you is march stance you all the way out here, and then reinforce you for the attack, reinforce for the attack on Grozdrung. That might actually be a better plan to do it. That means we attack this next turn, which is exactly when this guy will get here, and then you can move this way, you can move this way, you can move this way, and immediately we'll start obliterating this faction. Alright, that works for me. I think we did have another Thane moving around here, so keep on moving southward, and I believe that was the only one. Yeah, really gotta get that entrenched guy. Another innovator might also be nice for various faction or various armies. Anyway, you, go find us some Imperials. Huh, there's a key dwarf settlement, but it's in a yellow territory? Go figure. Lots of Skaven around here as well. I guess the one unfortunate aspect of moving forward like this is we'll probably also find a bunch of other enemy factions that have a good chance of declaring war on us. Anyway, Joseph of Zorn, one more turn of healing, and you attack. Ulfar Norgrimling and the other guy, Snorri Morgrimel, you're both kind of in the same situation. Guess we could put you into mining camp, but frankly you're not going to do much. So let's just sit in additional public order to help out this particular territory. And we'll most likely do one of the quest battles next turn, specifically the Crown for the +2 control faction-wide. It's going to be real helpful. Morgus, you're waiting for one more turn. Might even give you another grudge thrower, grudge settler for a little while. Rearguard Helldower, you are fine. Oh, double check for more rearguard. No, we're good. Double check Guildmasters. No. And Valea's Grace. I might revive Herrick Grundadrak with the Valea's Grace trait. I was thinking that since he was part of the Fire Army and they all died, that later on the dwarfs found their corpses all charred and withered, and then one of the corpses just got up, skin all blackened and charred from the fires. But it was Herrick who was apparently blessed by Valea, and then within days he was just fine. And yeah. But of course, we'll still use the parts of his... Well, and any suggestions in addition to that also, please. Yeah, anyway, you guys keep moving this way. Alrighty, and Kinglin Ironbeard, still on the way, and I no longer remember which army I was going to put you in, but it doesn't really matter because all of our armies are kind of going to meet up in the Moonhowlers territory. Fortunately, it does look like Mr. Belagar's guarding this territory for us, so it's not like these guys will easily be able to move downward, southward, whatever. Upkeep reduction faction-wide for Ironbreakers. Yeah, there is that reason to perhaps confederate. Oh, unit capacity +2 for all units. That's really good. And I gotta say, the looted treasure halls thing is very nice. Got a lot of good stuff about it. And there's nothing in Valea's Sorrow. But that's alright. Anyway, anybody else need to move, or are we ready to spend the limited amount of cash we have and end the turn? Oh, alright, you were gonna go for Gore Hunt Hall. I just thought it was of it, screw it. Damage or not, just do it. And occupy. Alright, and we are still looking to trade it. Don't bother collecting the income, which we're not. Go for Venerate the Ancestors for the additional casualty or punishment trait. We'll grab the Remnants of Battle and then we'll move here right after. And we got the additional speed for you, did we not? Yes, we did. Let's get you Eager Kin to get that recruitment cost. Lovely. And we'll level those guys up afterwards. We could also probably evolve some of these units. Well, these guys are obviously going to Grimly, so, well, once again, we'll need to meet the armies up, but, yeah. Speaking of Grimly, actually, wait, you have one Quarreler with Great Weapon. Oh, you have a limit of 4 units, meaning we need the Longbeards there. Actually, speaking of, you need to be, what level? Level 4, rank 4, in order to become a Longbeard, and then the Thunderers are going to go to Gromby. Plus the Scolder Guard. Oh, are you at 20 units? You are at 20 units. Darn. I say darn because we could otherwise put the Scolder Guard in here, but the rest of them need to be traded, especially those that have earned their ranks. Don't wanna be wasteful after all. Alright, well, I guess that's another end turn, unless I'm mistaken. Everybody else is sitting pretty, waiting for the next attack, so we'll just check a quick deal real quick. Karak wants to trade. Yeah, sure, we'll trade with Karak. And so does Central Confederacy. You know what, we'll start with Central Confederacy because
we may not be the Empire.
Yeah, the others will get reduced. We're not going to do anything else. We're going to take all your money. Oh, thank you. Tribute to the High King. Appreciate it. Like so. And not going to confederate. Huh. Was the Confederation option there before, or was it not? And then defensive alliances. Ugh, Western provinces. Soon, guys, soon. We'll do it. It's just, once again, I can't deal with Kairos right now, unless we confederate Thoric first, just to immediately book it towards Kairos, which is an option, I admit. Is fairly near him. It will take a while to wipe Kairos out, because it looks like he has a ton of territory. We'll need to basically immediately confederate Thoric rather, and then immediately declare war on Kairos, and then just march on up there. How's Thoric doing, by the way? Oh. He does have some neat mountain holds there. Certainly an option. Alright, I think maybe that's what we'll do first, and then we'll hold a vote on what other confederations we do afterwards. Skip, because that way we can start racking up the points and getting some of the Cathan units which we want. Outpost available, no, and wait, did I move the Scout Hero? I should name you Scout so I don't forget. Scout Silverhorn, there we go. Oh, Ranger would also work, and turn. Ah, Great Orthodoxy just got bigger, Slaanesh-Gilgal, and that's good because we're trading with them, so hopefully that means more trade value. Horns of Hashut destroyed. Well, good. Grievous for Grimly, yeah, and campaign movement range for armies, meaning we can start moving towards Thane's authority, and that bonus control. It's going to take 8 turns to get there, but bonus control is obviously going to be very, very valuable and worth it. It'll make confederations easier to do, and that's pretty important. Anyway, well, I think we're more or less out of time in terms of this episode is all running long, admittedly, and I think we probably should hold off on... Well, I guess, you know what, yeah, I think, yeah, the episode's running long. I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we begin a new war. Other than wiping out Crooked Moon, which should be done for in 3 turns, and in fact are pretty much already dead, having been defeated by Queek, we will start the war against the Moonhowlers, and then hit 3 territories, probably. In 1 turn, it'll mean we can try out our new Drake Gun unit in our Fire Army, which should be pretty fun. And then, of course, we should be able to wipe out the Demon Prince up north. What the heck is this? What are you doing? What are you doing? Just, no. Oh, close victory. Really? This is a close victory? No, it isn't. Oh, wow. He's got even more regiments of renown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 regiments of renown now. But obviously, unlike the other army, these guys don't actually have a chance against a non-heavily damaged stack, especially with these guys. So I don't think I care enough to bother with these guys. Crown of Command and decent bit of cash. And oh, they'll revive. Because of course they will. How many? Oh, just the one. Alright, Crown of Command. We will transform that into a more useful item. Grimly hunt this guy down and then start moving towards the Monolith of Haka. I'll resolve this as well. And I assume he won't revive a second time because he can't run anymore. Alright, and you can encamp and then heal up a little bit and then move to the Monolith of Haka, which is pretty much undefended anyway. And it looks like Demon Prince is done for. 2 settlements remain, and he'll be gone next turn. We will also move you, I guess, towards Grimly, because you'll never catch Grimbrindle. Can you march stance? Yes, you can. Go into Monolith of Torgald. Go follow Grimly, and then we'll both meet up here, and then move southward towards Scarbrand. We will start on Khorne over the next couple of episodes as well. As in, we will hit the... we will separate these two armies. Grimly will proceed this way, or Grimbrindle will proceed this way. Grimbrindle will hunt down Scarbrand. I think that's a more appropriate use for him. While Grimly proceeds this way to hunt to the Khornates here and transfer their territories to Oshiotla, and that should be pretty darn effective, I would wager. And of course, like I said earlier, we've shortlisted a few types of units that we want to put into various armies just to have them on field, like the Iron Drakes, our first Iron Breakers. We don't have to have every themed army up and running in order to try out those units. Quests, confederations, lots of stuff to do, so stay tuned for more Karaz Ankor. Don't forget to leave a like and comment below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.